What up? What up? What up, everybody? What's going on? Hey, listen, man. Uh, we live. We's live, and we about to get it in. I see Mother waiting on Mother to get her get on this camera. CC, what's going on, babe? She on mute. What's up, C?
I'm out here trying to get myself together.
Oh, okay. Brian, what's going on, boy?
Man, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. TB.
Man, what's good, fam? How everybody doing?
Man, good, man. Best as we can be, brother. On my end, hey, man, we were just talking about something, man. I'll continue that. Hey, listen, so let me ask y'all a question real quick while we waiting on Mother and old Sierra. How y'all feel about, how do y'all really feel about R. Kelly music? Like, do y'all not listen to it no more?
I love R. Kelly.
I like the music. I do like the music.
I mean, what about you, Brian?
Now, I never was an R. Kelly fan.
Woo, how could you? Boy, that's the what? Hey, name, but you know what? I'm gonna ask you a question. Name a better name. Just if right now, if R. Kelly was out of jail, and if he was an innocent man, name one person that could do a versus with R. Kelly and even be successful. One person, just one, just one,
Chris
bro.
Brown. Chris Brown.
Oh,
No, sir.
and I'm a Chris Brown fan, but Chris Brown is not music with R. Kelly.
Man, R. Kelly got 30. Can you imagine being an artist and you got 30 years of hits?
And not only his stuff, but all the stuff he's written for everybody else.
B2K, Celine Dion, and he wrote
Lady Gaga. It's a long list.
He wrote
Beyonce.
Beyonce, yeah, he wrote for everybody. I mean,
So the thing with that, man, if anybody could do a verse with R. Kelly, they would have to pick a specific like time frame. Right. You know, they couldn't just leave it wide open because he would blow them out the box. Yeah. They would have to pick a specific year or a specific decade or something like that because, I don't think nobody's touching that, man.
Because like B2K and what all these other people, B2K and who else R. Kelly wrote for? Man, I mean, it's just so many people. He wrote Stranger in Moscow for Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear the music. That's R. Kelly. You know, even now, what's the guys? Ronald Isley just did a song, their family song.
Oh yeah.
Who you think singing the hook?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and he made Mr. Biggs, bro. Cause Ron Isley after them 70s and 80s, he was done.
Yeah. Well, Ron Isley, he did an interview and he say how R. Kelly rescued him. He was in big trouble with the IRS and his taxes and stuff. Yeah, and man. He talks about how R. Kelly saved him and helped him revive his career and all that stuff.
Yep. Well, listen, man, we're gonna go ahead and jump right on in it, man, because I got a few things that we can talk about tonight. The first thing that I want to just jump into is this right here. And Megan, we talked about this before, Mother, about why are Black-owned businesses so hard to support? Why are Black-owned businesses so hard to support? We'll start with you, Brian.
First and foremost, reason why Black business so hard to support because there's a segment of our community that don't understand customer service, and we got to teach our people customer service. We can't we got to understand that a lot of our people don't understand how to conduct business because it's a certain segment of a population that never been around business or none of that stuff. So we just got to be patient with them and we got to be upfront with them when we have bad customer service, dealing with them instead of us attacking them, instead of us slandering their business online and all this and that. We got to find a way to communicate with them and say, hey, I didn't really like how you was doing this, or can you do this? You got to work on this a little better. It got to be some accountability towards the owners instead of us always attacking our own people because righteously they didn't grow up around business like that. Not all Black people, just a segment of Black people with black businesses. But for the most part, you have bad white businesses, you know what I mean? So most Black businesses I have dealt with, I got in good service, you know what I mean? And I continue to go back. So I try not to always focus on the negative, because even though the negative overshadows everything, but we also forget about the multitude of people, black people specifically, that do good business, that run a business professionally, that have wonderful customer service. But certain industries that black people are in, particularly hair or some selling some shit, clothes online, or some of them do nails and stuff like that. It don't require, they don't have that customer service experience.
I
So
just I want to I want
yeah,
to
go ahead, Tony. Yeah,
I
that's
want
fine.
to chime in on something that Brian said. I think sometimes it's hard for people to tap into businesses that pretty much dominated by other cultures, other races, shall I say? Like you mentioned, like black people doing nails. Man, we know the Asian descent people got that on lock.
Unlock.
That's so that's a hard business to try to tap into, because even when you tap into it as a black person, your prices are going to have to be a little more expensive, because you just don't have the number of customers to support you or to keep you up.
And
So
access to the resources at the same prices that they get it at.
right, exactly. So when you raise your prices up a little bit more, that's an automatic hit on your business right there. Because before I pay you, $50 to do a pedicure, I'm gonna go down there to the other spot and pay 25. So and get the same pedicure. But so I just wanted to chime in on that
Well, I
aspect.
gotta disagree with you on that too, brother. It's a lot of black women that doing nails. What I meant was talking about the nail. I'm talking about the customer service, on how they treat the customers that they come do their nails. You know what I mean? So, and I understand that a lot of us got to go to the China man to get the product, and we're gonna have to pay a higher price. I pay a higher price at certain black businesses. I can go to the white boy store and get a lot of this stuff. I understand that my people got to pay a little extra, and they don't have that big lick like the white boy do. So I totally understand what you mean, brother.
Yeah, I mean, but that customer service, that's a big part. And it made me think about, when he asked that question, it made me think about, I have a cousin who has a little restaurant business, and this dude, burgers are like top notch. I'm talking, he's made like the Houston newspaper and stuff with his burgers, cooking for the mayor and stuff like that. So he has a great product. But just to give you an example, one day my son, that plays football, was in town. And so we were at the hospital visiting my stepfather. He had just had open heart surgery, and the hospital like maybe 45 minutes from my cousin's business. So my son said he wanted a burger. So I said, okay. So I called my cousin. I said, I just ordered one burger with fries. And he said, okay. I said, I'm about 45 minutes away. He said, okay, it'll be ready when you get here. Not only was it not ready, we ended up waiting like another 55 minutes for a burger and fries. There were people that was coming up, because it was around lunchtime. People was coming up on a lunch break, and a lot of people left. And I told my cousin, I said, hey man, you need some help. I say, a lot of people, walked off because they didn't want to wait. And you know what his response was? Fuck them. They'll come back.
Damn.
That's a problem. I haven't even been back to his establishment since then. So, but it's stuff like that. It's that mentality, man. And by, I'm telling him, I'm making suggestions. I even told him, I said, man, if, I'm off on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. If you need some help, I'll come in and help you or whatever. He said, all right, I'll get with you. And I never heard nothing else from him, because the thing about it is, he don't want to pay people neither. So my uncle used to work with him, whatever. My uncle stopped working with him because my uncle said he felt like my cousin was kind of like messing over him on the financial point. So he really don't want to pay. So that's why he's in there by himself, but his business is suffering. And I mean, when you think about it, the longevity of it it's probably not going to last, that much longer, because you can go right there to Burger King, McDonald's, or some of those other places and get your burger within 5-10 minutes, on a bad day. So yeah, it's just that mentality, man. We have to get people out of that mentality. And like I said, I tried to talk to him, but he wasn't trying to hear that.
But you gotta understand, some people are their own demise though in life. They're just not in business, but just in life. So
Absolutely.
sometimes you just gotta let people fall. I'm not talking. Let me say this: when I speak like that, bro, I'm not talking about the fuck ups, man. I'm talking about the people that I see that wanna make money. I can't, like your cousin, whatever. I will never waste my time on a person like that. Like they won't listen. So sometimes people gotta learn on their own. Some people gotta just get burnt. So your cousin, they're my cousin. I wouldn't waste no time because I know how my cousin is. I know he got to learn for himself. He ain't gonna believe shit is hot until he touch it. So I let motherfucker touch it sometimes. But I get what you're saying, brother.
So what about you, Sierra? How do you? I mean, why are black-owned businesses so hard to support?
I go to mother right quick.
Okay, handle your biz.
Right.
Go ahead, mother.
Yeah, be mama.
Well, I think we've talked about this somewhat before, and a big part of it is the customer service piece. The customer service piece and the consistency. And like you guys have said before, I try to really support black businesses, and even if that means sometimes me spending a little more, I don't mind because I'm really looking to support black business. But customer service is huge for me, and consistency is huge. And I've had some incidences. I tried to support a black cleaners, and one day, Big Mama, the grandma, like had to be in the hospital and they just shut down the whole cleaners. And I was going out of town. I was going out of the country. I need my clothes. I had literally put everything that I was planning to be out of town in, and my flight left at 7 a.m. the next morning, and this was a Friday, and they just shut the whole cleaners down. And so I had to think to myself, like, if I was going to Pilgrims or to a big cleaners, this never would have happened. Like, they don't close the cleaners down because there's an incident. So it's just some of those kind of things.
It's some noise in the background. Somebody playing
That's
music.
Lance.
They need to
I
mute
think
it.
that's Lance.
Somebody need to be muted.
Oh, he got it. Yeah. So it's those kind of things. And then not to mention the customer service itself. Sometimes there's a nasty attitude. And then I've seen some black business owners, like blasting people on Facebook, talking about their customers and different things that happen. And I hold people accountable. If it's somebody that I know that has a business and they're doing that type of thing, I'll tap them on the shoulder like, hey, sis, like, that's not a good look. It's a better way to handle this, because that's a real turnoff when you see them, talking about incidences they had. And then you see some of them and they got all these ridiculous rules. It's just, I want to support black businesses. And again, it's not even so much for me in terms of the cost. I want, though, the same level and quality of service that I would get if I were to go to a non-black business. And so I think that's the piece for me. And I think just in general, sometimes we tend to be a little bit more laxed with each other. And I'm not sure exactly where that comes from. I've been at a store and I've seen the young lady, the cashier, a white lady right in front of me, and she had so much more respect, was the way that she talked to her, all that good stuff. And then when I came to her in line, it was very laxed. It was real, just not the same level of service at all. So I don't know what that's about, but for some reason we tend to not give the same level of service or the same quality to each other as we do to other races. So I think that's a part of it. And then some things just in general with black business, like, for example, the turkey leg hut here. I know you guys probably saw that like in the media. The turkey leg hut about 2 months ago, like, decided that they were going to implement this dress code, and oh, you need to wear your Sunday's best to come up there and stand in line and eat carnival food. And so it's kind of, I mean, there's like, I stopped going there, and I am not going there anymore. I'm not, because I can go to Steak 48. I can go to Seasons 52 with my shorts on, with whatever on, and they're not going to care because my money is green. They don't care. So I don't know. It's just some of those nuanced things that I feel like sometimes black businesses almost fail at. But I tend to agree with Brian. I don't think we need to consistently blast them. I'm about helping people, but I will say, after, if it's not good the first time, I'll give, 2 or 3 times. If it's consistently a problem, I'm not going to keep pouring my money into that business. I'll just move on. There's lots of other choices and options to support black businesses. I'll just move on to the next. And again, if it's like a friend or something, I'll definitely tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, this is not a good look. You might want to think about doing this, or you might want to think about doing that.
Yeah, what's up, Lance? Boy, you like your name Earl today. What's going on, Earl? You muted, fool. You muted, fool. We We can't. Hold on. This fool here, man. Hold on. Hey, go you go.
Fix my camera. I'm trying to get a bear. Hold on.
Oh.
Okay.
So the question is, why are Black-owned businesses so hard to support?
Because we think we're special. Like Black person see another Black person. Like if I go in the store, I don't want you to go, "Hey, what's up, man?" I want you to be like, "Hi, how are you, sir?" But if you say, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'm gonna be like, "Hi, how are you?" And then that'll fix that right up. Set the standard.
Yeah, I mean, but we shouldn't have to do that. Like,
why not?
I'm saying,
in what society do we not have to set the standard?
No. I'm saying we shouldn't have to make those corrections and set a standard. The standard should already be there.
No. I mean, don't get it twisted, though. I mean, if a young kid comes into a store and there's a young associate, she's gonna be like, "Hey, girl," whether she white, Black, Asian, or whatever. I mean, it has nothing to do with the race. It's more of the stereotype.
Yeah, but I think
the projection of what they think you want, what they think you think they want you to say. And all you have to do is just correct it and set the standard.
It's like they feel like we're homeboys because we have the same race or we're the same color, and that's completely not the case. But like I said,
but isn't that like the same with the white person at the counter who does the same thing?
Yeah, because if it's a redneck white woman up there, and she sees some coiffed motherfucking madam with the houndstooth jacket on and she's looking like she just came from the yacht club, she's not gonna say, "Hey girl, how you doing?" She's gonna be like, "Hi, how you doing? Can I help you?" Like it's not gonna be. It's not. I mean, I don't think that's a racial thing. I think we feel like that just because it's more prone to like happen. White people tend to be more professional because they've already been tricked into fitting into a box. It's just integration. It's mild level integration. And who's to say what's wrong or right? Why should it be wrong to casually like say hi to
sometimes I appreciate that though. So like my photographer, and Tony knows this, we show up to this and she sets a whole mood, and I'm like, I would never get this at JCPenney if I was taking pictures. I forgot my lotion. I was ashy. She done pulled out the cocoa butter and she's rubbing like cocoa butter, making sure I'm not ashy in the pictures. So it's some things, and I love that, whole experience. And I'm thinking like, if I went to JCPenney's or so, like I would never get this. So it's some things that, I think we just innately know about each other. And so sometimes I do appreciate it.
I think we're harder on Black businesses than we are any other business.
Facts.
Yeah, I really do. Because, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm in Monroe, Louisiana, small city. Not too many Black businesses around, but there's one business that's here, hair store. And this man, I think he's Arabic. I really think that's what he is. Not sure. But he has been recorded cussing women out, you Black B, you MFers, all of that. And you want to know this man is still making money? Black people still going in their business. He hasn't been shut down. But that would have been a Black person doing all of that.
Right.
I feel like we're just real hard and expect more out of them because we are that race.
Yep.
But you know why he's still making money though? Because of the price. It's like if y'all ever look at the numbers.
I don't care about the price. I care about my respect, just like you just said.
Yeah, it's all about your respect.
If y'all ever look at the numbers on beauty supplies and on nail shops, and we are the ones, those are multi-billion-dollar industries. And we are the ones that support them the most because it's been the same thing in Houston. We've had lots of videos go viral of Chinese store owners cussing Black women out, of them being in nail shops and talking about people and cussing people out. I had a coworker, she didn't realize she's dark-skinned Filipino. They didn't realize that she spoke Mandarin and that she spoke some of the dialect that they speak in the nail shop. And they were saying all sorts of stuff. They were talking about the women's feet. They were calling them duck feet, calling the women ugly, just saying all types of nasty things. And it's crazy. We continue to support these people. They follow us around the stores. They talk crazy to us. They cuss out our women, all that type of stuff, but we continue to support them. But so I looked at a documentary though on specifically the beauty industry and the beauty supply industry. Do you know they have a monopoly? And I don't know how this has never been checked. They have a monopoly on that industry, and they will literally not, unless you're not Chinese, you cannot get access to those vendors. You cannot get access to those people. They have a tight monopoly on that industry. If you ever get a chance, look at, they've done a couple documentaries on it. If you ever get a chance, look at that. And you know where half or most all that hair comes from the temples and these other countries, and they have a direct connect to that. And they will not let you in there if you're not part, of their infrastructure. And I don't know how that type of secure monopoly has been allowed to go on for this long, but it's really troubling because we as the Black community are the ones that spend so much money there. We have $1 trillion of spending power. And a lot of if you look, it's a lot of us that are spending the money in the nail shops and in the beauty supplies.
Yeah, but even if you look at the location of these places, though, if you think about if you go to the more suburban, more upclass neighborhoods, you might find a Sally's Beauty Supply, something like that. You're not gonna find I don't know the name of any of those beauty supplies. I don't go to them. But
Beauty Empire.
You're not gonna find any Beauty Empires and all that stuff in like River Oaks or in like Midtown or something like that. Those places are only in the hood. And it's a strategy. It's a reason why it's like that, because first of all, a lot of people in the hood don't have transportation. They got to walk, ride the bus and stuff. So that's why they continue to go back to these places, because they really don't have many options that they can walk to. You see what I'm saying?
That's what they tell themselves. Yeah, I'm sure.
At least that's what they tell themselves. Yeah, exactly.
But they're also told to be proud of where they come from. But it's like, who are we to say to not be proud of that? I mean, that's our culture getting used. Yeah, but other nationalities coming in and using us. I mean, we don't phrase it like that, but I mean, if Plies put it in a rap song and put it in the hook, we'd be singing it. I mean, we'd be going along like, we be chanting choir like we do. I mean, it's like, instead of asking why don't Black people do this, we should be going to the Asians and be like, what is it that y'all believe in that makes y'all so strong? Because what you don't see? Asians fighting each other. You don't see no Indians out here like, oh, you stole my slurp. None of that happens. Like, that doesn't happen. There's a respect there. It's unbreakable. To break it like death to them. It means something. They don't live in a society that's
they know who they are,
into thinking that they don't need anybody, when literally everybody makes everything possible for you, especially in the hood.
Yeah, and they help each other.
It's a whole. I mean, it's we're looking at the wrong dynamic. We're asking the wrong people the wrong questions, because we have to admit to ourselves as Black people we are an immature race, and in many ways we are, but in many ways we're the oldest race alive. But there's still so much that's just lost to us, and we're literally kind of making it up as we go. So and then now America has their whole aspect on it. They've got Black people thinking that they're supposed to act a certain way when we started acting that way, just so y'all would see that we were no different. But we are different. But we couldn't say that because that's what they were always saying. We had to change the dialogue, and they just changed it right back. They said, "Oh, you are different," and now we don't even fuck with each other. So
no, I'm gonna disagree with. Well, I ain't gonna disagree with it. I mean, I guess that's part of it. When you say, "Oh, when you go somewhere and it's a customer service," and that is for some people, customer service. When you walk into a place, you want to be welcome, you want to be greeted a certain way. But then you have to look at it like this: when you go to Walmart, you have to sit in the customer service line for fucking 30 minutes. Or when you go in West, but you know what they've done? Walmart has made themselves a necessary evil. You go ahead and try to go somewhere else and beat our prices. Good luck. Go to Target and get you some Dawn dishwashing liquid for 99 cents today, and we got it over at Target for $238. Good luck. Go buy your 50-inch TV at Target, and it's $950, but they got it on sale at Walmart for $455. Good luck. They made themselves a necessary evil. So for me, it's not so far as the customer service. For me, it's pricing. Black people overprice everything. They don't want to build money over time. They want all their shit right now. Give it to me now. Give it to me now.
But I mean, when you're a smaller business, you save money when you buy more in bulk. You have to make up, you have to cover your costs and your overhead. You have to profit. And yes, I do agree with you that there are some people, not just Black people, there are a lot of small business owners that are trying to, they're getting these loans and they're trying to just get ahead of the overhead and trying to make sure that they stay in the black. And sometimes they can't run a sale like the neighbors do. You just have to, in your spirit, just say, this is what I believe in. And then if they talk to you some type of way, it's I personally feel like it's up to us to be like, hey, listen, like, I want to keep giving you my business. And I would prefer that, like, I know I'm coming to a place that, is going to treat me like I'm going to spend some money, and I'm going to spend money with you. Like, I can't allow myself to come here. Like, I mean, just coming with them on some real shit. Cause you know what? That's what white people would do. That's what Chinese people would do. Them Chinese people would be like, no, y'all show no, you can't do that. You can't do that.
But Brianna in the message said something. Yeah, she said something in the comment that I completely agree with. She said it's because they don't have access to the wholesale prices. That brings us back to a comment that was made earlier. Because they, like Megan said, that's a monopoly. You can't buy into that, or they're gonna raise the prices up so high. So, and like Lance said, they have to make a profit. So it all makes sense. We understand why the prices are high. And at the end of the day, when it comes to bad customer service, you can ask Megan. I'm an equal opportunist. Anybody can get it. I don't care what race, whatever. If it's bad, I have zero tolerance for bad customer service. But we have to understand that. I mean, as a culture, as a Black person, we have to understand that because we do have to charge people a little bit more than what the man down the street have to charge. That means we have to our customer service has to be that much more on point. So
that's that
because if we can't beat them with the prices, we got to beat them with. We got to beat them with how we make them feel. Like Megan said, the photographer, how she rub her down. This girl is a fool. I mean, I love her. She take great pictures. She's like so different, but she makes you feel like you're at home, and she opens up the doors for you, and she just makes you feel comfortable while you're there. So I don't mind spending a little extra money. Yeah, because of how you make me feel. So with that being said, if you're gonna charge extra prices, hey, your customer service needs to be like exceptional. And that's what, because we don't want to go in there and spend extra money. If we go in there and first of all, they supposed to open at 10 o'clock, it's 11:30 and they just not making it there. They hadn't even turned on the stoves and nothing. We don't want to spend our money there. And then the customer service sucks. So and unfortunately that's kind of like the stereotype that we have, as Black business owners. We're known for being late on CP time. It's a whole bunch of stereotypes that goes along with that. And then for the most part, some of the business that I've actually, went to and tried to support, they fell right into those stereotypes, and it's hard.
But you know what? That is true. And I'm currently in a situation like that. But also, I have seen Black people just like assume that they can get away with murder when they walk into a place. It's like when we see each other, it's like automatically we start to size each other up. There's almost a jealousy or an animosity.
Yeah.
Not wanting to have that, but seeing someone have something. We're used to being a little envious of other people of other colors not doing better than us. But like when we see somebody, on our own level, which I don't even know why our skin determines our level, but that's another thing that they apply to us. But I mean, we see somebody on our own level, and the first thing we don't do is humble ourselves. And then sometimes when we do, they're just like, you're like, how did you do this? Where did you? Yeah, just a lot of hard work. Yeah, I just really a lot of work.
Not wanting to put people on.
Oh, cool. Okay, thanks. Thank you for your help. And it kind of reaffirms. It's just like every little bit, every now and then, every little. And it's just crazy.
goes back to the comment like about us as a culture, because we talked about this before too. We are one of the only cultures that don't stick together, that don't help each other out. And part of that is we got this mentality, oh, that bitch thinks she doing something. Oh, she this. That. We just had, like you said, almost this animosity, like this jealousy, rather than seeing it as, oh wow, sis getting the bag, like she doing her thing. Like, let me reach out to her and see how she did that. Maybe she could help to put me on. But a lot of times we don't put each other on. And I think I've told y'all this story about the Arabic man at the store down the street. He's Arabic or Indian. And I hadn't seen him in a while. I'm like, oh, where you been? He said, oh, no, this isn't my store. He said, I was getting this together for my cousin. This is his store. And he said, now I'm going to move on and go to another store. So that's how they do. They help each other out. They help each other. They put each other on, and they don't have a problem with it. But us as a people, me and Tony have even talked about even like how some cultures do this living together scenario. You rarely ever see Black people doing that because, cousin gonna be worried about, oh, are you paying your share? Oh, that bitch ain't doing her part and this, that, and the third. Where other cultures, it's already set up. You got a set of people that stay at home and watch the kids. You got a set of people that work. You got a set of people that do the cleaning. We just, as a people, don't really sometimes cooperate in that way. And like, I like your point, Lance. It's almost like we're immature as a people, but why? Like you
Because
said,
we're
we're
American. We're not African anymore.
Yeah,
We're
we're
American. We have no
American. Those
traditions.
people
We have
come
no
here.
structure. We have no habit. We have
none of
nothing to
it.
fall back on.
I want y'all
Yeah,
to
And then
none of
they
it.
come here to, get the American dream. They come here to work. They come here to build. So yes, they do live together. They do. I have a guy, gas station right here, did the same thing that you were talking about, mother. So I mean, but we don't, like Glenn say, we don't have that. We
Well,
don't have
well,
that tradition.
I think in our culture
what?
though, we always associating a dollar amount to everything. For example, a friend of mine, he's Hispanic. His dad builds what does like concrete slabs and driveways and stuff. And his friend does furniture. So his friend built his dad a bed and a dresser, and his dad laid his concrete slab. So it's like if you would think like, man, he built a dresser and it was like a full size bed, and you like first thing we'll think is like, okay, well that probably only cost, I'm gonna just say $1,000 to pour that slab. That's a $2,500 job. So now you can make me that furniture, but I still need for you to pay me $2,000. I mean another $1,000 too on top of that. But see, they perfectly okay with helping each other out because he know that, hey, well, this furniture may not be equivalent to the price of that slab, but hey, that's I'm gonna do him a favor because later on I may need him to do me a favor. But we don't think like that. We want like instant gratification. We want it now.
Now wait though. I've also
Now,
seen it on the flip side too, where they respect the fact that you see a value in what you're doing too, and that's very, very important. It's kind of one of those things. I'm not going to ask you, but if you do, okay, I know I have to refuse. I have to refuse. I have to refuse. There is a etiquette to doing business and doing favors. There's an etiquette to it. It is, we used to have a class that we went to. Is anybody's kids in a cotillion? Like when's the last time anybody heard of it? And the whole point was to learn to be socially apt, to make it possible for you to navigate through the world. It was so they could learn the rules, they could learn the structure so they can bend the structure. And we did. We bent it all the way over to individualism. And now we are independent. We think we are our own person. But that's not where we were created for connection.
That's real talk.
That's the only purpose that we serve.
Hey, let me say this. I think, excuse me, I'm sorry. I think we putting too much credit on these goddamn foreigners, bro. Anybody can pop off with you give them some money. All these people coming with money, they leaving their countries with nothing. Give Black people some money and watch how we flourish. Why they gotta come to our country and flourish? Why they couldn't get them popping in their country? If you give me a couple $1,000 to start a business, I bet you I'm a pop. But Black people haven't had that opportunity to get free money from the
If
government.
all
to
6
start
of us moved
business
in
like
together
that.
right now
Out
and
of
had
that
a business
reparation.
plan,
So
you
if
would
they
have
would have gave us
$1,000.
reparations and a financial compensation to start a business, I guarantee we'll buck. So I would never give those foreigners this clout like, oh, they do this, they do that. Yeah, nigga,
I
give
don't
me
know.
some
It's
money.
not
I'm
I
taking
got
clout.
them a
They
one
pop.
just didn't get it
point
Because none of
though.
straight.
those people couldn't get a
They
popping
just
in
didn't
their
have their
country.
history
Why they
erased.
couldn't get a
Now
They
popping
I
in
weren't
their
gotta bring up
country?
destroyed.
these
Because they ain't
PPP
had no
loans because
money.
I'm gonna be
If we
honest.
would have had some money, if they would have gave us some money like they give these foreigners when they come over here, I guarantee black people would have been flourished, would have been
Okay,
popping. It's
how
proof
many
in the
black
pudding
people
across
when
America.
when all this shit happened with COVID? How many
Got the
black people?
PPP loans.
How many black
Man,
people like us
I ain't
six
talking about
got
no
into a
PP
house
loan.
and
We
was
talking
like,
about
let's go buy
generally
this
business.
restaurant? No
Yes,
White
way.
how
people
many of
did
them
it.
people? Because
Jeff
I ain't gonna
Bezos
lie,
got the
three
most. Jeff
three of my
Bezos,
cousins got them
Jeff
PPP
Bezos,
loans, and they've been balling out on
Elon Musk
Facebook.
got the most money out the PP
They
loan. It
ain't
was
did
billions of
nothing with them
dollars, and they
loans.
balling like a mug.
Okay,
We talking about Arab. They've been
They
having
ain't
these
did
stores for
nothing with them
years.
loans.
The
They
Chinese
balling
that
out with
had these
grills.
stores for years that's getting government funding. If we got
they getting
government
government. We
funding
can do
throughout
it
the years, throughout
too.
decades, I
All you got to
guarantee
do is
we'll
read
get that
it.
bag.
It's right there. There are so many grants, business grants,
Queso,
loans.
queso,
It's so many
queso. They
community
is getting grants,
enrichment.
Mm-hmm.
queso. They don't got no money in them countries because they wouldn't have to come over here and get the money. Why they ain't
We
staying in
have
their
the
country
money
and
for
making money?
Well,
everybody.
they
I'm
don't have
talking to
the
queso.
infrastructure and stuff in those countries. But
But
so to
they
your
getting the
point,
money
Ryan,
to
I
come
do
over
agree with
here to
that.
get into
They do
infrastructure.
they do get a leg up when they come to this country. But
Yeah, we
a,
got to,
a
and
lot of our
most black
people.
people don't even get bank loans.
No, that point I do agree with. They do get a leg up when they come to this country. But in terms of the opportunity, I'm glad you brought that up too, though, because it's meant a lot of people have got them during PPP loans. Like I said, I got some family members I know for a fact because you can look up who got them. It's a site. It's government funds. So with any type of government, that's like people that work for government places. You can look up their salaries online. With them PPP loans, that's government money. So you can look up who got them. I saw 3-4 of my family members on there and it explained everything. They've been balling out on Facebook. They ain't did nothing with that money. Talk about he's shooting a music video, just all type of foolishness.
Believe in
And
their dreams instead of
yeah,
seeing a dream that's
yeah,
bigger than them. You have to
yeah,
humble yourself to a better
yeah.
goal. We
Right,
don't
right.
do that.
And
I ain't
We've had
mad at them.
everything
I
pulled
would have.
away from us
I
for
would have got
so
PP
long.
loan.
We crave this individualism to make something happen. And because we've been doing it without nothing, we think we can continue to do it without nothing. But the people who did it without nothing learned everything first and then figured out how to do it. We have grants, we have loans, we have stuff just for black people. We have stuff just for
Well,
poor people. There are people that
well,
really go to
cause you
college for
well.
free right now for 4 years
So,
just
so
for
let me
being black or Indian or a girl or gay or
so
don't
Lane,
even a pony. Like it's there.
but let me
People
say
just
this,
don't
man.
want to pick up a fucking book. They're too distracted.
Right. Let's say this. Let's say this. If Mother got PPP loan for 50,000, Tony got one for 50, right? That's 100,000, right? Let's just say everybody on here got 50,000 apiece. That's $300,000 on this screen. We can go buy a huge property. We can fucking buy somebody out their store and take their shit and take over neighborhoods, bro. Just imagine if everybody took that money and put it into a business, how much black business would be right now if they use the PPP money for the right shit.
But see, it's a different mindset though. You got to think about it. Those guys, they live in situations overseas with like subpar, like poor, just unimaginable. We can't even think about a living situation like that because our lives are so much different. So their whole reason for coming over here is to do better. So that's their whole mindset. So any money that they get, of course, they're going to put it to a good cause. And once they make that money, guess what? They're going to be sending it back home, building up their families back home and stuff. And eventually they're going to go back home and
especially
live.
the Mexican women, boy.
And you know
the
what?
Mexican women, the Mexican Indian women, boy, they stay down.
And let me say something. I want all y'all to pay attention to this comment somebody just put on here. Artist named Chief. This is what he said. Foreigners come in this country with a supplier plug in hand. They already have the logistics pipeline set up and they can operate with low expense and easy profit margin.
All them Indian doctors had a whole Indian doctor waiting for them to come over here. Those were whole poor families. They stayed up at night, looked through them grants, went to school for free, and became Dr. Parukaba.
Now watch this. What about the weave? Now what about the weave? Because let me tell you this. I watched the
hair.
And those Arabs have a fucking plug like you would not. They have a plug.
Yes.
They're shaving the fucking hair off the girls.
Yes.
But we don't
They
have a
get it
problem
from the
going and getting
temple.
cocaine from Mexico.
They donate that hair for free. Yeah, well, because that's part of their religious deities or whatever. So they shave their hair every so often. They are donating that hair to those temples for free, and they're monetizing it. And so that's the industry I was saying. They got a monopoly on it. They got a monopoly with the temples, and they get that half. Like I said, the temple is getting it for free, and these distributors are paying them a nominal amount, but they have a monopoly on that. Me as a black woman, I could never go to those temples and say, "Hey, I want to buy some of your hair. I want to get some of the hair." They not gonna do it.
Not like that. No, you would have to respect their tradition. You would have to come in a certain type of way. It may be a while. I don't know the process.
But it's set up for them.
I can't even get to the door. You gotta have access to be able to get in the door. I gotta have access to the door. I'm not even getting to the door. I'm not even getting in the elevator.
I'm just saying it's been kingpins that have made kingpins that went down to Colombia and gotten cocaine and heroin that they never thought they were gonna get. They took a fucking chance on themselves. They learned the culture. England, before Google, you know what they did? He sent a whole bunch of ships to China. King Henry the 12th, 10th, something like that. He wanted to learn anything about China. He was fascinated with them. He sent a whole bunch of ships over there to learn everything about China. They had to learn the people. They had to learn the culture. They had to learn the land. They had to gain respect. They had to work beside them. But like 10 years later, here come the ships with everything they needed to know about China. And then they got intertwined with the trade with them because these Chinese people and still have hands out ready to shake for them to this day because they have a deep understanding with each other. White people know how to fugazi some stuff out of people. They know how to treat other cultures with respect to get what they want. Look at America. Where are the Indians? Swoop. I mean, I don't understand how we still have claim over Puerto Rico. They're a whole fucking country. And we still it's about having a weak-minded structure. And that's what they did. That's what Englanders did. Norwegian people did. They learned us, not just us, everyone. And they destroyed and conquered. Conquer and destroy. Like, that's what they did. Divide and conquer. There we go.
Well, hey, man, this is a conversation that we're going to continue to have, man. And I mean, we'll like I said, man, we just have to continue to have it because this conversation can go on for a while, bro. But let's move on to our next question. This is more of a question for that women that are really doing something with their lives are being successful, that have a lot going on in their lives. They went to school, they've gotten therapy they needed, they take care of their families. But we have a few out there that I had to ask this question. Why are women mad when they see other women winning? Megan, we'll start with you.
So, we kind of touched on this, and I'm glad we brought up this discussion. It's terrible, especially within the Black community. I don't know if you men know as much about this. Women and Black women, we are the hardest on each other. And it's like, wow. And a lot of it sometimes is generational. And so I can speak for myself. I know, like, growing up, like, I was somewhat taught, I guess maybe my mom had like bad experiences with other Black women. And so I was taught, like, kind of like, oh, you better watch that bitch. Like, kind of that type of thing. And we always kind of have like this, and it's always like this side eye, to each other. And I don't know if it's like a jealousy or an animosity, but like, seriously, I can remember like walking down the hallway and not wanting to walk the way where it, maybe was like other Black women sitting down, just because I knew I was going to get the stare down, and possibly a comment. And I just don't understand why we have to be so hard on each other. And so I'm glad, like, the new generation of millennials, they seem that, they kind of brought back being positive and, like, hey, sis, you're doing your thing. They really brought back like encouraging each other, because my generation was so bad about that. And like I said, I just hate that we tear each other down. so terribly. It's really, and then not to mention that it's gone away somewhat, but there's a lot of colorism between women, and especially Black women. I've heard so many times other women that don't even know me. Oh, that bright bitch, she thinks she all that. Like all time, and anybody knows me knows I'm the last person. Oh, she stuck up and this and the third, and I'm the last person. I'm not, in any of those things. But it's like it's these assumptions that are made. So I think part of the problem is in itself. I know it can't be particular to only the Black race, but from what I've seen as a Black woman, we are so hard on each other already. And so, to your point though, of when sometimes even when maybe you may have friends, and so that's why I always tell to myself, and I always tell it is really so important to find your tribe, because it's a lot of haters that camouflage as friends. And so it's really important to find your tribe. And if you start winning in life, you start healing yourself and healing your issues, and now you're progressing, and oh, your friend ain't down with that, she probably wasn't your friend from the jump. So it's some instances where women are getting mad when they see other women winning, because essentially they weren't down for her from the start. If I start healing, if I start progressing in life and I'm not moving, how I used to, and you have a problem with that, like, I really have to question, like, were you really for me? And I think that's the most dangerous thing, to have somebody that's secretly a hater that's camouflaging themselves as a friend. To me, that's one of the most dangerous things you can ever have.
Can I ask, as a Black woman, do you feel like when there is a Black female that is showing you some type of disdain or showing you some kind of shade or something, do you ever feel responsible, like, I need to show her that she's worthy of this same love too? Like, do you ever feel like you need to change her trajectory?
I'll be honest, Lance, I've had to do a lot of healing, because I'm not gonna lie, the old me, when it came at me, like, you got me fucked up. Everybody had me fucked up. But I've done like a lot of healing and stuff. And so a lot of I've learned to, if it's shade or whatever, to ignore the shade. Like, you know what, this is coming from a place of hurt. Let me see how I can redirect this, and say, hey, sis, and I'll try to like say something funny or compliment them or something like that. Because like you said, a lot of it comes from, they have this bitterness because they're unhappy with their own situation. And so I think once I had to figure out that, all of that, negativity and bitter and nastiness is a projection of yourself, and that it has much more to do with them than it could ever have to do with me. I think that's what helped me. And so, like I said, now
that's the problem. That's the problem. Other countries don't believe that. There's no one that's any better than anybody. If one person in the culture has a problem, every person has a problem. That's what we had church for.
Like you said,
but unfortunately, our church
it's about redirection, and like, how do we redirect it? So I've been, like I said, because it used to be, if it came at me, if you looked at me, everybody that thought you were coming like that, I was going to give you exactly what you gave out to me. But like I said, I try to, kind of make light of it. And a lot of times, I'll hit them with a compliment or, something like that. And it tends to kind of soften the situation. But I mean, a lot of it comes from, being miserable, being bitter. And so when they see other people winning, it's a natural innate reaction for them to be jealous.
I mean, like, being light skinned though, like, if you see a dark girl that hates on you, did you ever think that maybe she's not projecting herself? Maybe she's projecting her mother, who maybe she had a light-skinned sister and she just has this like inherent hate. And I think it's that, see, that's where I think women fail on trying to tell men what to do when it comes to leadership. Because it's like, how can the women were a whole coven, and a powerful one and a quiet one, and a modest one and a beautiful one. And it was something like amazing, because you knew that you couldn't afford it. Your kids depended on it. There were whole generations that depended on Black people sticking together. And I feel like that's where, like, Joe's like kind of right in that aspect. because Black men will never humble themselves and say, we can't do it without you. What? They've already been told.
What?
The white man has already told y'all. The white man has already told you, because y'all see leadership as a person in front. Y'all don't see leadership as you're not as good as your team.
I don't know what type of man you've been around. I don't know what type of man you've been around.
Oh, so all of a sudden you know the meaning of leadership? Everybody knows the meaning of leadership.
I know what a leader is. I lead how I want to lead.
In a general sense, don't feel attacked because we talk about women in a general sense. We just got done talking about a whole bunch of races in a general sense. I'm speaking in a general sense. Men do not understand leadership because we have been programmed to think that we should be independent, just like women. And we've been groomed into that. But the difference is between us and other countries already grew up with those like similar, like, races. And as much as America would love to believe that like seeing another person of the same color doesn't make a difference in how you approach them or how comfortable
you don't even know what you're talking about,
Lane.
Lane, what you talking about, Lane? What you talking about, Lane?
I am talking about how we never got back together. Do you remember back in?
Well, that's his opinion.
Civil rights.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow the opinion though.
Check this out. Civil rights. Well, we stuck together. If you needed a ride, we all going in the car. It's 7 people in the car, 8 people in the car, like the Mexicans now. 8 people in this car. I don't know if I can call any of y'all for a ride, but I know a whole bunch of Indian people. I know a whole bunch of Asians. I know a whole bunch of other nationalities that if they see their person on the side of the road, they gonna fix their car. And y'all laugh, but I mean, it's just the truth.
Well, you can call me, Lance. If you ever need a ride or anything like that, you can call me.
I'm in Arkansas. You can.
Well, if I see anybody on the side of the road, I'm not stopping because I'm afraid.
Right, not no random people, but y'all can call. I'll pick y'all up if I see. Well, maybe not Brian, but the rest of y'all, if I see y'all,
they don't see each other as random. Like, when they come here for a plan, like that, all that stuff means more to them. Their person themselves is not more important than their goal. Ever. And that's the truth. Their person, they're doing this. There are men and women that come over here to this country knowing full well that they're going to work themselves to death for their children and grandchildren to hurry up and get that shit started. And they don't stop until they just die.
And you know what, Lance? I have a neighbor in my subdivision right now, right next door to me. And he loves my family just like he loves his, my Hispanic little homeboy next door. And this is what he said. And he said this. He said, you know what, man? Across the street are his cousins right next door to him. And when they first moved over here, all of them were living in that house. It was 13 of them in there, including their kids. Then they moved out of their house, and now they're in this house. So now they occupy 2 houses here. And now he's moved in another group of Hispanic people, and now he's planning on moving them out as well somewhere else. And so when you talk about leadership, those men over there, I've seen it from my own eyes. When you talk about leadership, men are natural leaders, so we were created to do. This man over here, when he says
just because someone's a natural leader doesn't mean they're in the right playbook.
Well, hold on. When this man next door, when he says something to them women, it can be 4 of them, it can be 1 of them, it can be 6 of them. When he says something, it is what it is. It's law. Ain't nobody saying nothing back. Ain't nobody getting ratchet. Ain't nobody throwing up no hand signals. Ain't nobody trying to cut nobody. When he said it happens. And I say, damn, how did this man get this much control? Shit.
It's not control.
And they're
a man.
It's not control.
Right.
Maybe it's not in you, but it's in me. I ain't know
I'm not saying that we are not capable of being leaders. We were the first leaders. Stop being insulted. I am trying to tell you that there is a society that has broken us down. There is a society that has broken us down. We don't.
Bro, you don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Listen, I'm not insulted because
I don't know what I'm talking about. What do you think the drug epidemic was? My mama came from a family of 12. My mama came from a family of 12 kids. My dad came from a family of 13 kids. Both of them was on the farm. Both of them came from Louisiana. When they got here in Arkansas, we was all staying in Granite Mountain. My uncles, aunties, all of them. We right in the block. And then drugs, crack. My daddy on it. My aunties on it. And it all just fell apart. And that was part of a plan. Black people were sticking together. There was one point, it didn't matter whether you was for the peaceful revolution or whether you was for the fight. Like we were still together. We weren't doing anything to each other. Like there was like an innate like respect there. And that all got broken down by design.
So let me say this, Lance, and then we'll move on to Sierra, let her answer the question. I've seen in some countries, man, I've seen where the man dies, the man will die, and when he dies, they'll bury him. And if his wife is still alive, they bury her with him, alive. She is not allowed to live without her leader. When he dies, she dies. They put him in the casket. They put her right on top of him, shut her ass down in there alive. She's screaming to the top of her lung, and they bury her ass alive right on top of her husband.
I'm not saying whether that's wrong or right, but I'm just saying they all believe it. All right. And even the women will stand there by it.
And so let's go with Sierra. Sierra, why are women mad when they see other women winning?
Okay, I ain't gonna stay long on this. Because some of what Mother said, I agree with. Honestly, I think it's done unconsciously. I don't think it's done consciously. And I say that because of the envy, the jealousy. You disagree. How you disagree?
Because let me tell you why.
I don't feel like it's done consciously, Joe. Most of the things, wants, desires, and fears that comes from their unconscious mind. They see that these women or the women that they feel that they are jealous of or that they are hating, that they are winning, you know, it's something in their lives that maybe have stopped them from doing the same thing. You know, so I really don't believe it's consciously done. And like Mother said, she got it from her mom. You know, raised from her mom. Is sometimes it's just born, and nobody really knows that they're doing those things.
So let me tell you why I disagree. I disagree with you, see, because there are women that I've seen for myself, and I've had this discussion with Mother and Tony way before we even started this show, probably a year ago, maybe. But there are women that sit back in the corner, and they have a group of women. Just say, for instance, it's you, Mother, and two other women. And they have a group of women that hang together all the time. And all of a sudden, in that group, one of those women that were toxic to her kids, toxic to her husband, toxic to her co-workers, she decides, you know what? I have a problem inside of me that I need to change. And she'll go get therapy, and she'll start being some more submissive to her husband, start loving on her husband more, loving on her kids more, becoming more religiously conscious. No, she'll change her life completely. And those other four women that was in that group with her will try to get her to be the same person. And when she shows them different, those women will drag her ass through the mud, and they'll be like, oh, so you new, oh, you acting brand new. See, that's boy, them bitch. I'm telling you, I would never do that for a man, girl. Ooh, girl, that you can't go. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't hanging out no more. That nigga must got you wrapped around his fucking finger. Women will sit in a corner and bash your brain.
And all of that is fear, jealousy, envy. So most of that is unconscious. Most of your wants, your desires, your needs, that fear, that jealousy, that envy, all of that is done unconsciously.
So a woman getting mad at another woman for changing her life and being better for her family is done unconsciously?
Yeah, subconsciously, because they want to, that's what, ultimately, that's what they want, and that's what
they want, and that's what they're seeking, and they don't have it.
I mean, also, there's no respect for the family anymore. I mean, it used to be like there was like a patriarch and a matriarch. They had like a final say. You respected everything that they did. Like you used to ask a man for like his daughter's hand in marriage. Like there was a process, there was an order. And I think, I don't know, I just feel like Black people kind of like try to break out of it because we've had more order than we needed to.
We evolved. People evolve, man. Things evolve, man.
No, we have evolved. I'm just saying we haven't evolved together like as much as we'd like to make a difference. Well, I'm not saying we haven't evolved.
The same with you, man. Everybody not gonna be the same, man. Everybody move different, bro.
Right.
Like
I don't agree. Everybody moves different. Everybody moves apart. We're talking about. Are we talking about making a stronger unit or a stronger individual? That's a whole different conversation.
Everything. Like if y'all do stuff that I disagree with, I'm not gonna do it but morally, I'm still gonna treat you right. It's just about respect with me, but
But
morally,
if we're in agreement with something that we are supposed to be doing together, no matter who you are or how I feel about you, I'm going to respect the agreement.
That's why I say I'm gonna respect you, but I don't have to do what you do.
No, I'm gonna respect the agreement. Like, period.
But that's what we're talking about when we're talking about other cultures and other races. When they have an agreement on something, whether you agree with it or not, if the I don't know if they do it, I don't know if it's like a democracy or something. I don't know how they come up with whatever decision they're gonna do,
It's
but
called a benevolent dictatorship.
Okay,
but it's a family though, right? It's a family though, right?
Yep.
No,
Okay,
I mean it could be family, friends, or whatever. But my point is, if they don't agree with it, whatever everybody agree with, whether you personally didn't agree with it, they still go with the flow, and that's how they're able to succeed and able to work it out. You know, because you're only as strong as the weakest link. So if you say, like you said, I'm just not going to do it, that could make everything else fall apart because you just saying I'm not going to do it. So I think
but I'm American though, bro, so I can do that. See,
that's the thing.
We keep comparing.
And that's the American. That's what I just said earlier.
But
I grew up in America, so I don't like that Mexican shit, that Arab shit. I don't connect with that. So I connect with the niggas in the South.
But we don't have to connect with it to understand the strength of it.
And I can't
exactly
staying with a bunch of people. I don't want. I couldn't imagine living like that. You know, I'm used to living in a single home with two parents. You know, family. That's what I'm used to seeing. I'm not used to. It's just odd for me to have like my whole family live with me. It makes sense, but you know, we just didn't grow like that. But those cultures, they live in huts. They live in shanty town. So they used to be compressed together. As Americans, white or black, we wasn't like that. Now, even in slavery, we didn't really live like that in some of the plantations. We weren't just.
We was in Arkansas, in Granite Mountain, in the hood, in the projects. This is where I come from. We moved when I was 6 because the blood was there. In case y'all ever seen the documentary Gang Banging in Little Rock, that's where I stayed. But we were close. We had each other's back. I could walk down the street in blood territory to any of my auntie or uncle's houses. Walk up to my grandpa and they had a little farm in the back. He taught me farming, watch the little granddaddy legs crawl all over me. And I mean, I was so young. I was one of the younger people in my family, but I remember that wholeheartedly, having all of my family around. And I remember it all breaking apart too. And I remember us never really getting back like together. Like after my grandma died, that was like, it was over. It was OB. And so like, I don't know how to fix that, because I don't even know how we really kept that going then, because we was really doing everything we could just to keep that tight with no rules. And the way my family was, my dad was, you know, he didn't respect my mama, daddy, you know, and his daddy was a pastor. He wasn't living by the cloth, but he was too insecure about his lack of what he couldn't do. You know, he illiterate. You know, there's other things that we're dealing with. There's other factors that bring down the value of ourself and the part that we can play in something as a whole. We didn't even get a chance as Black people to really dream that big. You know, past the 70s, we just wanted to be treated.
I think we high value, man. I don't think we low value, Lance.
No, I'm not saying we are. I'm saying we don't
Black people as some gloomy. But listen, Lance, listen. It's just maybe the tone. Maybe I'm getting confused with the tone. But Black people are not just some gloomy, poor. We just so fucking stupid. That's a segment of Black people, bro. Majority of Black people, even in the 20s, 30s, 40s, after slavery, was very successful, man. Yes, it's some poor niggas out here, but for the most part, I just hate that the negative is just so, it just paints us as Black people. Everyone on this chat, everybody on this chat is successful in their own way. Even the people that's coming is successful in their own way. A lot of people we interact with are successful in their own way. They're just a segment of people. And sometimes, man, people just fucked up in life. They just fucked up.
I'm not saying that that's bad that we're successful in our own way. But the question is, how do you become strong? It's not going to be our way. It's going to be our way. I mean, just last session, Brian, you were saying that we should segregate. But you're also saying at the same token that you couldn't see yourself staying with your entire family.
Yeah.
And in actuality, that's probably what it would take.
No.
You don't know that though. We've never given the opportunity to create our own lineage. We don't know. We don't.
I
Most
have you
people
might have
really
had
don't know what it takes.
see, I have see your family was broken up, Lance. Mine's wasn't. Mine's continue to grow. I seen proof that my legacy has grown, brother.
I mean, and that's
So
fantastic.
listen,
What are you doing to make sure that other legacies grow?
listen. This is what I'm telling you. I seen my grandparents make it. I seen my mother and father make it. There's other people in my family that made it. Hold on. You looking at it from your point of view because your family was broken up behind drugs. There was a lot of families that I have seen. I'm not saying anybody else's family wasn't broke up because of drugs, but I have seen black people flourish. You know
I
what I
have
mean?
to
Like I have seen it.
one of my great uncles owned the gas station and a couple of the businesses in town. No, don't get it twisted. It's not to say that we are incapable of having success. We're incapable of sharing it. We are incapable of having it as not incapable, but we just don't know how to have that as a unit. Like that feels, for some reason, we've been conditioned to think that, like, if we don't, throw this money around, or we don't flash, or we don't give ourselves some gratification,
That's the
that
niggas.
it doesn't
Shit.
mean anything.
Yeah. That's hip hop shit. Black people, that's nigga shit. There's a lot of black people that don't do that shit.
It is, but it's too
young
many to
people
break
shit.
it down.
Like young people throwing money. Hell, I did nigga shit. I still do nigga
but
shit.
It is enough. It's enough to affect the effect. It's enough to stop it from happening.
Yeah, we gotta teach our babies. We gotta teach the babies. We fucked up the 80s on baby. We fucked up, but we gotta talk to the babies, man.
My dad let me know every day that I can do anything I want to. He made me feel special. He wasn't perfect, but he made me feel special. He made me feel loved. He made me feel like I could do fucking anything. But what's anything when you don't get a chance to see it?
So the guy that was in our comments, artist named Chi, he just joined the chat. He wanted to come in and he got something he said he want to say. So here we go. What's up, artist named Chi? What's going on, bud?
What's good, y'all? How's it going?
Welcome, fam.
What's good?
Welcome to the show, brother. Go ahead and speak your mind real quick.
Well, I'll let Lance finish what he was saying. I mean, they were finished, and then I'll hop in.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I've been begging my family to move out of Arkansas. I was like, I got a little niece and nephew. They bright, and it makes me sad to think that they could grow up here and not be able to take ballet because the other black kids aren't taking ballet. Because that's the influence that she's gonna have, and I don't know if I can get involved and like create a certain influence. I just want her to be exposed to everything. And I've noticed just in my little section that when black people tend to know stuff and to do better, knowing better to do better, they generally don't just like share it with everybody. Usually because they've been met with some kind of like contention or anything like that. But that's like I was saying to you, Brian, like I'm the type of person, like, I don't care who you are. I'm never going to not help you. Like, I'm never going to not try to like uplift, because I feel like as long as I'm putting positive seeds in the ground, it don't matter your race, color, creed, or whatever. It's going to have to grow and pay off. And there are a lot of black people that feel like you. I'm trying to grow my legacy. And that's where we have to start. You are right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But like, also as black people, we have to have a really important conversation about what the next step is. And we can't even agree to just lift each other up. We don't even know how to approach people who antagonize us with love.
The real to me though, the real generational wealth is healing. Like I just have to agree with that. Like, it don't matter how much money, whatever. If you really start breaking some of them generational curses, if you really want to give something to your kids.
My mother, they don't want to have that conversation. Mother.
Yeah, if you really want to, like, for me, as with my daughter and finally having a girl, I feel like the best thing I could give her is breaking generational curses and healing myself. To me, healing is the real generational wealth.
I do see that. I see so much hope in our young black kids. I swear I see so much hope. I was working up in Whataburger. Kids didn't even know I was gay. I'm like, how? But they don't look for that. They looked at my character. They like me as a person. And this little kid's like 16. I cried right there making a Whataburger. Can I get a goddamn Whataburger? Because I never thought that I would be alive where a black kid wouldn't automatically associate me with something, especially a black male young kid, wouldn't automatically associate me with the prejudices of whatever his father had. I never thought I would be alive for that. I never thought I would be alive where kids would even be thinking about taking power over their name or their gender or sexuality, even though I think it's kind of crazy sometimes. But I'm glad that they're intelligent enough to let their mind flourish to that kind of depth. I see so much hope in black kids. I just want them to be exposed to see where that hope can go. And I think as long as we keep trying to grow our own little lineage, keep thinking that our little thing is more important than this big thing that they broke apart so many years ago, and they continue to break apart today. I mean,
charity starts in the home
right where we
first
are.
before you try to help someone else.
Yeah, charity does start at home. So, artist name Chi, man, go ahead and speak your mind, brother.
Well, I think the biggest thing here is what does leadership look like to us, but also on the thing, how can we be led if we're not leaders ourselves? Because, you know, we can push back from both sides, men and women, but if you don't understand what leadership is, then what it really is, because we kind of conscribe to almost to say what celebrities do. Like, we could sit here and say that, oh, you know, oh me, oh my, but what does our real leadership look like? Like, what does it really look like? Like, is it James Evans from Good Times? Is it Bill Cosby? Is it the guy from Parenthood, Robert Towns? Like, what do leadership look like?
It's
What
right.
we do see, like, you know, they always say that when Jesus come back, but how the hell we know what Jesus looked like? No, not to offend nobody religion, but like when leadership comes in front of you, how you gonna know it's real? Are you gonna reject it or are you gonna accept it? So can you really understand it? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, anybody, go ahead. Somebody, if y'all want to go ahead and respond.
Yeah, leadership
I've been asking y'all that question
within
forever. Black leadership
come within. Leadership come within. And it should be nobody on TV. Them characters. They just playing characters. The people that play that character, you don't know how they are once they start playing character and they start being who they are. So that's why I teach my children, you are a leader. You are somebody. See, I don't need nobody outside my home to tell my boy or my daughter who they should be and who they should imitate.
That's not defining characteristics.
People,
What is defining characteristics?
and they see their father as a leader. They see my kids see me, how I conduct my business with folks, how I interact with men, how I treat women, how I mentor children. See, my babies be with me in the project out here in West Dallas. See, my babies they see how I help people out. They see how I handle money. What?
Go ahead.
I was with you till you said how you treat women.
But ain't our reflection of life?
All right. Even the hoes, I treat the hoes good.
Oh man,
I don't disrespect them. I love them hoes. Hey,
come on, Bryce.
Mother. That's why I ain't fucked up like Dwayne, man. I always had to deal with the ladies, man.
Yeah.
I never had a problem. Hey, ladies.
Hey, Brian, I ain't never had. Hey, Brian.
I had to get you for that simp comment in that text message, brother.
Hey,
I had to get you for that simp comment.
I'm gonna tell you something though. You ain't got no problem with the ladies. And the reason is because you and Trump just alike.
Oh, so you said, look, Joe said he just out there grabbing pussy. He ain't asking. That's why.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna fuck him up. Mother and Sierra. Have you noticed the men that complain? You notice the men that don't complain about women all the time are the men that fuck a lot of hoes. Men that fuck a lot of women don't complain about women.
I got a point there. I got it. I got to agree with him on that.
Hold on. If I gave you my resume, you would probably
agree with that.
They complain about women. Don't have options
about
women.
I want to hear this definition of black male leadership. I want words. I want vocabulary. I've been asking this question for 3 weeks. Somebody answer me because a gay man can't lead. So I know Brian's not going to believe my answer.
Oh yeah,
I'm just at the choir. So I need some of these black men who have kids. I need y'all to tell me what are the defining characteristics that black men could agree to that is leadership. What should a black woman be looking for to attach herself to?
Black man only leaves the house for 2 reasons: to get money and to die. So at the end of the day, when the black man steps out the household, It got to say, I'm gonna bring this money back to my family, but I'm most likely probably gonna, not most likely, I probably can die. I probably have a greater chance because we got a lot of, adversaries that don't want us to make it back home. So Black men kind of got to think unselfishly. That's what a leader is, very unselfishly. Think about it. Now to you women, what man would y'all date if y'all woke up at the middle of the night and he said somebody's breaking in, you go look? Most men gonna say, save you and the kids, I'm gonna go out there and do what I have to do. Think about Sean Taylor from the Redskins. If y'all know who Sean Taylor is from the Redskins.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what a leader does. It's the ultimate sacrifice. I get that women, give birth to sacrifice their body, but most men are probably going to willing to die for their family on moment's notice. When have you ever heard a woman say, before marriage, I'll die for him? Most men come into the situation, I'm probably going to have to die for this woman in our family. So that's what leadership is, in the sense that we're unselfish.
That was a whole bunch of scenarios and no vocabulary, no definitions.
Hold on. So ask women. Would y'all date a man if he told y'all to go downstairs and go check and see who that is?
No, both of us can't go. Somebody got to tell the story. Somebody got to raise these kids.
And you most likely is gonna be the man.
I tell a woman quick, especially ain't my woman.
I want to say this. I want to say this, and then we'll move on. So this is
Brianna said that's vague for everyday life.
This right here is from my brother.
But wait a minute, but Brian said he gonna send the woman down there.
Right? Yeah.
No, see, look, we already had this conversation. Somebody come with these answers, because I'm not gonna sit up here week after y'all skirt past this answer on leadership.
Just explained it to you.
But
no, you said a leadership is I'm gonna go downstairs if I hear a noise and be willing to die.
Hey,
dude, we 2021, they killed the whole family. They killed the whole family. People ain't no
Let Dwayne tell me up right quick.
Hold on. Tony, go ahead.
Yeah.
Man, so I have to agree with some of the stuff that artists stated. But the thing about it is the definition of leadership is gonna switch from person to person, because a lot of what we view leadership as has a lot to do with our upbringings and stuff. Like Brian, he feel like leadership is, his kids looking up to him, and him telling his kids how to be men, and or whatever it is. But I may look at leadership like I'm showing my kids like how to become a successful man. Like, hey, you need to go to school. You need to do this. You need to become an entrepreneur or get a job or whatever the case may be. So I think leadership is going to vary. I don't think that there's a flat definition of what leadership is.
What qualities make a good leader? The qualities of a good leader include communication, commitment, and confidence with one another. A leader has to have a clear vision of what is to be achieved and the ability.
In order to be a leader, you gotta have followers.
That's in a relationship.
It's got to start. There has to be no. Listen, y'all are going by these. Y'all are mentioning these like euphemisms that don't mean anything. Not all of us are gonna hear a noise or a bump in the night. We need some clarity. That's the problem. We need a strict law to abide by. There has to be structure. How do you think these white people fly? How do you think they feel about love?
Let me explain something to you, Lance. This is leadership. I'm in the bed at night. I hear somebody break in my front door. I go to my front door. When I go to the door, the leadership's going to speak for itself, because I'm a leader. It's naturally going to come out without me saying anything, right? So if I go to the door, the first thing my woman going to do, she's going to get behind me, because she already knows she's behind the leader.
I ain't coming downstairs.
Right? She's not going to get behind me, right?
How are you going to be a leader when she has a baby?
Somebody got to raise these kids.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to bring it. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to bring Tony back. This for Brian. My grandfather died when he was 80 years old. He said the man that bragged the most about fucking the most bitches ain't getting no pussy, and his dick is probably about 6 inches or less. But we'll talk about that later. Hey, let me go to Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, but once again, it depends on your upbringing and stuff. Like we know we can all Google it, the definition of what a leader is, and we can see what all the characteristics of a leader is. But if those values or if those leadership traits was never instilled in you, then your definition of leadership is going to be a little distorted from what it actually is. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I feel like there's
nobody was telling me anything. Nobody was giving me any defining words. I was asking for nouns.
But there are none.
I'm asking for verbs. I'm asking for something that your women can cling to besides these fantasies of being a hero at night. They're not worried about getting killed at night like that. Like
So
if they
you
gonna get
want
killed,
our
they're gonna
leader?
get
No,
So
I
killed.
mean,
Lance, do you want
I guess
Lance? So
like
what
if
is
you
leadership then?
Lane,
are
let
you
me
So
say
what
this.
you
looking
want
for
him
like
to do then?
adjectives to describe what a leader is? Like, are you looking for like strength, dependability? Like, are those? Is that
But
what
what
you're
do
looking
you
for?
do? Like, what do you do as what do you do as a leader? I can tell you what I do as a leader,
They just
but
Can I
told you,
interrupt?
Lance.
because of my position, because I'm not really doing. People think I don't really lead anything. Like it would be impossible for people to like take me seriously. Like to me, being a leader is understanding the team that's behind you, respecting the
Okay, that's
people
your
that
answer
you are
then, Lance.
actually
You
leading,
answered it.
making sure that they feel
That's what it
confident
is.
in backing
There you
you
go,
up,
Lance.
having a clear goal and a clear plan, making
Right.
sure that
That's the
stuff
answer
is
right there,
communicated
Lance.
easily.
Now I will say this.
That's
Now
the
we not.
answer, fellas. Do y'all agree? That's the answer.
Okay,
That's the best
hold on,
answer
Brian.
for him.
Because
Yeah, that's the best
because
answer for him. We
Thank
all
you.
have our answers
Y'all
for
don't is
leadership.
that not
Thank
leadership
hey, hold
characteristics
on,
that
bro.
y'all
For
share?
you,
It
Do
is.
y'all
I
not
Lance.
mean,
have
it
those
is
For
leadership
leadership
qualities?
you.
characteristics.
Lance,
Time out,
so
coach.
watch this.
Time out, coach.
Time out. Time out. So watch this. I just brought K Soul on. Me and K Soul shared a platform over at the Lapeef Network with Anton, and so he's an intelligent brother, and I guarantee you he could probably tell you answer your question, Lance, because we done all tried and we ain't getting nowhere. So K,
No, I mean
So,
you
so
because
K
you
Soul, go ahead, K
okay.
Soul.
I'm sorry.
so I'll try. I think I understand exactly what you're asking, and the way I would describe leadership is one. I would include a lot of the things that you said. The first thing is a leader is someone with a clear vision. You can't lead someone if you don't know where you're going. A clear vision, a clear program, clear direction. I would also add that it's someone who is a provider, a protector, someone who is going to guide their family. For example, when Brian was talking about leading his kids, I'm a Christian, so I believe that if you're a leader, you stay in your word. You can, you cultivate that relationship with God, and you lead your family in that way. A leader is also providing. I don't know if I said the securities, which the guys were talking about when someone comes through the door. My family expects me to go downstairs and see what's going on. If there's danger, they expect me to protect them. A leader is someone who puts in contingency plans for several things, whether it's financially, whether it's mentally. There's a bunch of things. So I think the issue with describing leadership is such a vast majority of things. But I think the main thing with leadership is someone who has a vision, someone who is disciplined, meaning you cannot be a leader if you can't control thinking with one of your heads and not the other. Example, these dudes that are out there having babies by several women aren't leaders because they have no discipline in the sense of they can't control their sexual urges. So that leadership can be described in a vast majority of ways. And I think that's why some of the fellows aren't saying a specific thing. But I understand what you're saying. There needs to be a certain standard that we have that people can say, what does a leader look like? Because I think one of the issues in society today is that everybody wants to define things their own way and live in a way that makes them feel good. And that's not always the best thing. There has to be a standard, and we lack a standard in our community.
I want y'all to see that demeanor and that attention that he just got, the eloquence that he put. That's leadership. I didn't even do that. I was just worried about getting my fucking point across because this is the third week I asked the damn question, and everybody was giving me this. Well, if a man comes to the house, like you want a 12-story apartment.
Yeah, it's a.
Is it sentence structure? I mean, sentence structure?
But I think that's important though. Like we got to be on the same page.
You just like
We
that
got
nigga
to
name.
like we can't talk about segregation, resegregation, and we can't even like agree on like who's gonna be taking the motherfucking like reins. Like
big
that's
homie. Okay, so do you feel like leaders are born or made? Because I heard you say something that guys who have more than, I guess, multiple child's mothers, they can't be leaders. So basically, if you mess up one time, that as a man you can't be a leader no more. There's no redemption.
No,
Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Not at all. I'm not saying that if you are someone who has had multiple kids with multiple women, you can't be a leader. I'm saying if you're operating in that you're having like there's people I know. We're not friends, but I know people who will have a baby with someone and then go out and have a baby with another one. Someone who is living and is okay with living that way is someone who I would say isn't a leader. So you can be a leader and be a person that has made mistakes, but you can't be a person that continues to make mistakes and think it's okay. Because there's
like a serial reproducer, like one of those people that just love to reproduce. just to have a place to go stay every other night.
But I
Something
heard
like that.
about men not being able to control their sexual urges.
I was trying to get an understanding. Go ahead. My bad.
But I think when we start talking about, because even with that being stated, just because you're a serial reproducer does still to me doesn't mean that you can't be a leader. Because are we talking about a serial reproducer that is completely absent in these kids' life? Or are we talking about a serial reproducer that, hey, I'm taking all my kids with me? So what are we talking about? Because there are a lot of things. Like I said, just because you're a serial reproducer doesn't mean that you can't be a leader. Because you can still, yeah, we look at that. Yeah, that's reckless. Yeah, we'll say that that's irresponsible. Yeah, we can say a lot of things about that. It's crazy. It's all of the above. But once again, that still doesn't mean that you can't be a leader, or you can't even lead your kids, or you can't, just be a productive member of society.
Because some leaders can have a clear
why
vision.
It means you can't be a leader if you're operating in that. And the reason you can't be a leader is because statistically, kids who are born outside of a marriage have a significant chance of not having, they have a greater chance of not having a successful life. Meaning succeed. I mean, you're shaking your head. This is not my opinion. This is empirical data. Literally,
I was born outside of a marriage.
Okay,
so
all right,
but there's an anomaly though, man.
Because you're taking.
I was born inside of a marriage. My mom and dad stayed together until my mama died.
You're giving me an anecdotal. You're giving me an anecdotal situation. I'm not saying you can't be someone who is born out of wedlock and be successful. I said kids don't have the best chance. And if you're a leader,
that was my whole point.
If you're a leader, you're going to put your family in the best position possible. And if you're going to put your family in the best position possible, you don't have kids out of wedlock and say, oh, well, I'll just have another one and keep doing the same thing. Yeah. So I'm not saying they can't be successful, but most of the time, those people, they're not leaders.
Yeah, but that was my whole point. But even when you get married, like I was married, I had a first marriage or whatever, and it didn't work out. And so, like right now, I'm married again, and my wife and I have kids. I have kids with my previous wife and stuff. So, even with that being said, no, I wasn't a serial, baby maker or anything like that. But just because you're married, that doesn't mean that you meet the qualifications of being a leader.
That's true.
Your marriage can go
I don't
left.
think so. Yeah, I agree. I agree with
that. And people get married for crazy reasons. So.
It could be a toxic marriage with the kids.
That's a fact.
Right.
Which is also something some people believe should be controlled to have a strong, culturally centered, unit. Like marriages should be like aligned and designed.
I want to clarify something. I'm sorry, but I wanted to ask K Soul something. So you said, I heard you say too, with that point, like about the serial reproducers and stuff, you said they can't control like their sexual urges. So do you feel that same way that a man that's like sleeping with a lot of women, because just because the babies aren't here, don't mean that the woman didn't get pregnant and he didn't make her have an abortion? Do you feel that same way about, you said men that can't control their sexual urges? So does that include men that are sleeping with a lot of women?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, to me, and look, and this part is opinion, right? This part of it is not fact. Just in my opinion, someone who lays down with just a bunch of people, not just men, women too. If you're just laying down with a bunch of people, I'm not going to say you're a person of no character, but if you lack that discipline and because I believe sex is more than just a physical act. I think it's a spiritual thing.
Man, I'm gonna fuck these hoes. I ain't lying to you. I'm fucking. I'm riding that nigga. I ain't lying. I'm gonna fuck these hoes, man. I get what you saying. You sound all eloquent and shit, but man, I ain't lying to you, bro. I'm fucking these hoes. But hey, cool, but I like you though, man. You a cool dude, man. You a nigga I can learn from, but keep spitting though.
Hey, but let me just keep it real. I don't want to sit up here and act like I'm not a person who hasn't done that in the past. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this is not coming from
growth.
Right, it's growth. But now that I'm older and I understand, if I could go back and change things, I would be a virgin when I married my wife, to be honest with you. And I think
hell no. Somebody's waiting to
you know what, Kate? So I love that. I love
that.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something, because I'm gonna bring it back around, because see, Lance was talking about the way we used to have it before the Black family started breaking up, right? That was one of the things people used to do. We didn't go around sleeping with people for pleasure. We slept for people to create families. We were one woman man. Relationships, and a lot of that has we've separated ourselves from that, and now it's a free for all, and you're seeing the results of it now.
It was just kept, but hold on. Grandpa had some kids on the other side of town.
No. I'm talking about
my grandpa. He had two whole families.
I'm talking about before that.
Two whole families.
They knew grandma. What it is, they weren't home wreckers back in the day. Because let's be honest.
The side piece knew her place. She knew her place.
She knew her place. I agree. Because grandpa had them kids cross town. But and you didn't find about it until what? The funeral. And she said, them niggas look just like me. So I hate to break this.
Man, they were fucking more than us, probably, man.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to knock your point, but I'm sorry. Them dudes in the back in the day was real down bad, and them dudes back in the day was taking pussy too. Let's be fair.
Back in the day. First of all, I'm talking about pre-60s, right? That's the first thing. The second thing, I kind of hate when people say this because you can't verify that. We say that, and I'm sure it happened. Like, I'm not gonna act like it didn't happen, but there's no statistics that show us that that's what was going on. But what we do know is what was not socially acceptable, and that was
how
one
would
of
you
them.
know that though? Because you're basically saying that I wouldn't know it because there's no stats. Well, what stats are you using to know that point to be? You kind of get what I'm saying? So it's like I can kind of void your point just by saying the same thing you are.
Well, I'm saying there's no stats because you can't say that in masses that's what people were doing. You can say that people were doing it, and I would agree.
I agree. Well, let's just ask the question: did anybody y'all grandpas or uncles, great uncles, was they, even though they were married, did they have outside children, or were they cheating on their woman?
They were cheating on their
That's not the point I'm making. That's not the point I'm making.
In the group because that's we're keeping in content.
That's not the point I'm making though. The point that I'm making is that it was socially unacceptable.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like right now, you can have people talk about having
shame. It didn't matter what they was doing out there.
Clap them up, and everybody make songs about it. We danced to it. It was a lot of shame involved if you had a family on the outside. It wasn't just kept a secret because granddad was smooth. He knew better. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is, in today's society, I'm saying, why can't we improve on what even they did? Let's not only have families across town, but let's be men of discipline and leadership and stick to having one man, one woman relationships. I mean, unless you are in a consensual polygamous relationship. I mean, people, you have the right.
Polygamy's been around longer than that.
If you're going to be a person that subscribes to the idea of marriage and building up the Black family and the Black community and things like that, we can't go, well, then I'm going to go sleep around and have kids and do all these other things because that's not helping the Black community.
Well, can we ask one question then? Can I ask one question? If we're trying to build the Black community, we know that we're having more deaths than anything. Well, can we say that, maybe polygamy may need to be entered to the question? Because if we're trying to build up our numbers, I know women don't want to share, but we have to have a real questions about our numbers that's going down. So
I know a lot of women who agree with that. I know a lot of women who agree that
that's what you're into, but it have to be something that the woman is into. That's not for
not as being into as an order,
as a Black group. If we're trying to get our numbers up there to fight, can we ask the real question? We need to reintroduce polygamy. Because that was around more longer than monogamy.
Well, not for me though. I've done my deed. I've multiplied it. I got 5 kids. So that ain't for me. I ain't sharing nothing. Not even my food. I ain't sharing nothing.
Bro, even in these relationships where people agree to polygamous relationships, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, regular marriages don't work. I mean, I can use that same point and say regular marriages don't work because you can also say you can meet a couple who seem glitz and glam outside, but really having real issues. I'm just saying, so you can, and they end up breaking up or going through a horrible thing. So I'm just saying, you can find issue with any relationship, whether polygamy or monogamy. So I'm just saying.
But there's no statistic on polygamy, and most polygamous relationships I've seen in America, it ain't last no longer than 2 years, man.
Well, all these now we're talking
about. I just want to fuck them hoes, man. Well, bro, enjoy your life. Yeah, shit, man.
Brianna in the comments is right though. Brianna said most men can't afford polygamy. She right.
You actually right. You can't. I agree to that part. You can't. That's why you got to sneak around.
So, guys, so again, this is a conversation that we could continue to go on, man. And so I want to move on to our next question. And this one right here is a question that a lot of men are, a lot of women are saying, like, why are men in other people's business? This is the question. Should women be upset that men are encouraging other men not to date single mothers?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Why? What was the question?
I'd be upset that a man listening to another man about who he gonna fuck.
Should women be upset that men are encouraging other men not to date single mothers? We'll start with you, Brian.
It depends on the age. It depends on the age.
Go ahead, Brian.
It depends on the age.
Go ahead.
If my son is between the age of 18 and 30, I would tell him do not date a single mother. Because you young. Why you want to take care of another man's responsibility at a young age where you haven't even produced a child yet? Now, after your 30s, when everybody been ran through in their 20s, they didn't find the right motherfucker to be with, cool, whatever. But my young boy, I told him, do not date no girl with children in your 20s. Try to find you a girl with no kids, especially if you don't have kids. And make sure you're married to a woman with no kids if you're young. That's just my opinion, man. Because I don't think young men with no children should be playing stepdaddy to a child.
Tony?
Man, I have to kind of sort of agree with that. I know I asked my son, like I said, my son, he's in college, he plays football, and I asked him, because we were talking about that. We had a conversation in the past about women with kids and wanting to get with men without kids. And I asked my son, who does not have kids, I said, would you date a woman with kids? And he was like, no, that's a turnout for me. And I asked him why. He was like, because he was like, I don't have kids now, whatever. So I don't want a woman with kids. And he said some other crazy stuff or whatever. But so I have to agree with Brian. Like, I think it solely depends on age, because I wouldn't want my 21-year-old with a girl that has 4 kids. Like, what you gonna do with that?
Stress the fuck out.
But in reverse, if there was a man raising 2 of his kids and your daughter wanted to go out with him,
vice versa,
and he was a good leader, and even by your all standards.
Yeah,
it would be the same for my daughter.
So what do kids take away from a relationship?
The question was about men,
though. Let's be honest.
Legacy,
money,
time. And you don't know, and let's be honest, you don't know.
So y'all plan for those things to be taken away when y'all have kids?
You don't know what kind of kids you're also dealing with too, and how the mother in co-parenting with the father too. Because let's say hypothetically, I like this chick, she got some kids. You go over there and meet her, she got a crazy ass baby daddy. Let's be honest.
It's true about baby.
It can be both ways. Come on, I'm not sending my 10-year-old son. I'm gonna tell him the same thing Brian's saying. Like, hey, you might want to avoid that for right now, because number one, if she didn't plan for that child, she may not be mentally prepared to take on a relationship, because she's probably haven't got over. Number one, she didn't get over her baby daddy, most likely, because it takes a while. There's a lot. Let's be honest, it takes a while. So come on, lads, like you gotta be fair here. And I would tell the same thing to my daughter.
Y'all got a lot of scenarios.
I think it's somewhat of a double-standard a little bit though. So, me and my husband, so when I met my husband, I was 21 and he had 4 kids. I didn't have any kids at the time. I was like fresh out of college. So I think some of it, like being closed-minded a little bit, and we've been together 12 years, been married 10 years. And so I'm thankful that like I was open-minded enough, but at the time we got married, it was a lot of people. A lot of my family was like, wait a minute, like, why are you marrying? Like you got a lot going for yourself. You just graduated from college, all that kind of stuff. But I'm thankful that I, like wasn't weak-minded at the time, that I was, willing to take a chance, because, I really feel like my husband is my soulmate. And so I feel like I just could have missed out, if I had been closed, and just thinking like, oh, I should only talk to dudes that have, that don't have any kids. And I had dated dudes that didn't have any kids, but, they didn't treat me as good or any of that good stuff. So I think love has kind of been taken out of the equation. I understand what you guys are saying, fundamentally. And what I tell my daughter, and we've had these discussions before, I would tell my daughter the same thing. I would tell her, like you said, age is a big factor in it. But I would encourage her, to try to find a man that doesn't have kids, just because it's a lot that comes with that dynamic. But if she did come home with a man that was a good man, an upstanding man, and he happened to have been married before or have a child or two, I guess because of my own personal experience, I wouldn't be too much against it.
I mean, first of all, let me just throw this out there. I'm a different breed. I don't think they make too many men like me anymore. So that's why it was easier. That's why it was easy for her to go ahead and let me, get into her life or whatever. But one thing about me, like I'll give my kids all the advice that I can give them. But at the end of the day, once they become grown, they're going to make their own decisions. And we talked about this with when it comes to sexuality or whatever. Like I'm gonna support my kids 100%, whatever decision that they decide to make or whatever. I'm gonna try to, guide them, lead them, guide them in the right direction, lead them, give them some advice and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, once they become grown, they're grown, and it's up to them to make a decision. But I would definitely encourage them not to date a guy that has like 4 or 5 kids or whatever, because it doesn't. Megan got lucky. She got lucky, so. Let me just throw that out there too. And so, like, the chance of somebody else getting lucky like this is
you put a little bit too much on that.
No, I'm serious.
I'm serious. I'm serious. You like
you got lucky.
Yes, she got lucky. So
no, you got lucky.
The chances of my daughter being lucky like that is probably slim, because I mean, I was older too. I was like 8 years older than Megan as well, so I was way more mature and things of that nature. So. Like you gotta look at the age when it comes to all that stuff too. So if he's still young, he's probably still in them streets, still like Brian, fucking all the hoes and all that shit. And I wouldn't want to put my daughter through that, especially if she started getting emotionally connected with his kids and stuff. So I would advise her, but at the end of the day, it would be up to her to make her own decision.
Devil's advocate, just to play devil's advocate. I don't have any kids. I totally get the stressors of having kids, and I get that y'all feel that. But also, I mean, if we're trying to get back to a strong unit, I mean, shouldn't we be pulling the kids closer to have our embrace and influence on them to be better? I mean, in one hand, I just heard people really not even bring up the fact that the boy is going to be out there smashing. I don't want to smash this chick because she's pregnant. Let me just go take a chance with some other single bitch and get her pregnant so another dude cannot like her. Like, it's just like, there's a chain that's missing here of like structure, and I'm so like the eyeball in this whole little thing, and I get that my stuff don't work like y'all stuff, and my order's not gonna be like y'all's order, but just the comment on y'all's order, it don't seem in order. Like it, I mean.
Man, I don't
understand.
But Lance, just because,
how can you be a part of the solution and then participate in the behavior that becomes a part of the problem?
Lance, but you can mentor kids and stuff. You don't have to be in a relationship with their mom. So I'm not saying that I'm telling my son, oh, if a girl like you or whatever, you can't be in those kids' life or whatever. I would just suggest that he don't get in a relationship with the mom. You can mentor them, you can take them places, you can be a big brother or whatever it is that you want. You don't have to be in a relationship.
But why do that?
Huh?
But I mean,
but why do that?
Oh, to mentor the kid.
No, because
exactly what your mama anyway. But I think it's a double standard across the board. So look at like Sierra and them in that whole situation. Everybody, and I heard a lot of men like out here siding with Future and that foolishness about Russell Wilson being around his son and about taking pictures and all that stuff. I heard a lot of men siding with that ignorance. But everybody was cool with Sierra out here playing stepmama to Future's 7, 8 kids. But then it was like it's a problem.
Hold on. But then Sierra knew that, like,
she knew it, right? She knew what kind of reputation.
No, but what I'm saying is nobody had a problem with that. But people had a problem when she was taking.
But why she did not choose Russell before Future? Let's be very clear.
Life happened. Life happened. She had.
But then clear here. Did she not choose Future before Russell? I'm just saying. Did she not?
Are we not sizing them up against each other? Why are we sizing black men up? Like, why are we sizing them their worth? They're both great men.
She fell in love with him. She had a baby with him.
To dissect what's going on, my brother. That's what I'm saying. Did she not choose Future before Russell?
Well, I don't think but life happened. She met Future. She fell in love with him. She had a baby with him.
And I agree, but don't it seem like ever since she got with Russell, she wants the world and most, I hate to say this, a lot of women to basically champion her cause. Like, it really wasn't Future shitting on her when they got out there. It was really Sierra. Oh, Russell's this. Russell's a great father. He's better than my last. She took every chance she could to throw dirt at that man.
She never compared it. I think people took it as that because yes, it was like speaking to how great Russell was. It's not her fault that Future was trash.
I don't agree with Future. A lot of things he said that way. But he was like, and I agree with them. They were at the park, and out of nowhere, paparazzi's popping up, taking pictures of Russ and the kids playing with little Future. Like, to me, you can't tell me that wasn't planned by Sierra. Come on, let's
okay. So you think he was plotting? No, you're talking about two.
Think about it. Because think about it. She couldn't get to the next level. She couldn't get to the next level with Future because when she started dating Russ, now she can go to the White House. Now she can start becoming. Now she's considered more of a pop artist.
Different good man. But you see, you just kind of proved my point. Your exact disposition towards her. That's what I'm saying. It's a double standard. I don't know why, and I don't know why. It was okay when she was with Future and being stepmama to all his kids. But when she moved on and leveled up,
I don't think nobody was championing her to be with Future.
Right.
I just looked at the aftermath of it.
No imagine if the roles was reversed and Future had a girl taking pictures.
It was the other way around.
With a new woman. Women will flip out. Women will flip out.
Well, you got that hoe around my baby. First one to say that.
So Russell Wilson. I'm gonna say I'm in the words of Anton. So you remember the other night we was on with Anton? Anton said these words, and this stuck with me. Anton said, when it comes to Russell Wilson, he said, I have no problem with Russell Wilson. He said, man, thank God for men like that can go out and clean up the streets.
Yep.
He said because he said, thank God for men like that can go out and clean up the streets. He said, but there's no way possible that it's a man that I love, that's in my life, that's close to me, he like family to me, that I would recommend someone like Sierra that has been with a dude before she even got with Future. She knew Future was a hoe. She knew Future was a dude out there slinging meat everywhere, and she still decided to have sex with this dude.
Because that was her king, and she followed him. Y'all wanted.
She needs mentally help. So basically, what you're telling me.
Oh, so you're crazy for following a black man?
It's all Sierra's fault.
We're talking about her mindset. Let's talk about her mindset. How many girls dated Future before they dated Russell? That's all I got to just answer that one question before we continue. And Lance, how many of your homegirls, cousins, whatever, how many of them dated Future before they went to Russell?
It don't matter when she got with Future. Look. I don't even know a story like that. I know that when she got with Future, she said she thought she was gonna be with him forever. That's the reason she had a kid.
Maybe she did not know because guess what? See, y'all just don't want to admit. Sierra attracted. That's what she really wanted. Russell is what she needed. Future's what she wanted. Let's be
goddamn right.
And at the time, she thought that's what she needed. And then
at that time, it could have been.
Is that wrong?
She up and she found her a king.
But she still had a.
She got her a sucker.
No one's judging.
No, she found her a king.
They got her
after her first king.
I ain't mad
at her. See, like, look, I'm not taking up for Sierra. Look, they both got more money than me. I'm just glad the kid got two daddies that care about him. That's amazing to me in itself.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So what you think, Tony? What you think, Tony?
Bro, this is my thing. I gotta agree with Artist's name because first of all, like he said, what's the name? What's the one with all the kids?
Future.
Future was what she wanted, but Russell was what she needed. Like some people need, like it's something like I gotta use my wife as an example. Megan needed me. I came in a time in her life where she was she wasn't in a good place in life. So you know what I'm saying? I came in and
So I mean, why are we mad at her then?
Double standard can be true too, but look, also with your double standards, how many men that got kids go say, I need a woman to take care of me and my kids? How many women do we see say, I need somebody that's gonna help me with these kids? If you want to talk about this double standard, what woman is really gonna say, man, I need help? If I got on Facebook right now and said, man, I need somebody to help me with my son and my daughter, people gonna be like, nigga, you a fucking man. But if a woman do it, They gonna say, girl, you gonna find a good man. That's how society plays double standards. Let's be fair and be honest.
And I'm comfortable with that, bro. I don't even care about that. Yeah.
But see,
let the women have got their shit going. We got our shit popping, man.
That's what I'm saying. So it's okay. Future, y'all needed Future to appreciate Russell. She needed Future to appreciate Russell.
Guys, this is the example of leadership.
And she said that prayer, and that's why everybody want to know the Sierra's prayer.
But Russell's too much of a guy. His teammate slept with his wife, and he ended up breaking up with her.
Let's keep it real. Future represents every nigga on the come up, and y'all niggas root for that sorry ass motherfucker. He lost a bad bitch to a motherfucker church going ass, Penny Loaf ass.
Hold on, Sierra. Go ahead, Sierra.
Y'all didn't know old Kim was gonna come through with a bow tie like that.
You want me to answer the question?
Answer the question.
I think Russell should not. I hate to say this. Russell comes from a 2-parent household, and I can almost tell he kind of takes from his other side of the family of ethnicity because his black side homeboy is like, bro, think about this. Look what you're gonna have to deal with. These are all the scenarios because it seems like to me, Russell, if he wasn't a quarterback and he was broke like the rest of us, or just at that lower level,
if he worked at home,
take money away. Let's take money away.
Yeah, he worked at home.
You can't because he's a Russell and he decided that he was gonna have money there. That's leadership. He had a clear plan. He decided he was gonna get seed.
So money makes you a leader.
Okay, what's the question?
Respectfully, he did.
Okay, so what K-So about to say?
Men are encouraging other men not to date single mothers.
Yeah, go ahead, K-So, because I want to hear.
Oh, so we back to that question.
Yes,
No, y'all had went all out the way, so y'all had got all off this subject. So
you know when that simp come up, everybody start talking. But go ahead.
I was enjoying this.
I don't know why y'all hate Russell Wilson. That's a shame.
Who said we hate Russell Wilson?
We don't hate him.
Look at the stuff y'all saying. The way just called him a simp.
No.
That man is not no simp.
I call him a simp.
He's not a simp.
Why call him a simp?
That's Brian. You back it down for the real dude.
I never said Russell was a simp. I said that Russell's too good of a guy. Russell got Russell got played by his. You got to think about it. He was dating a white girl at this time. I think it was Jimmy Graham. I think Jimmy Graham was one of the defensive players. That's why the reason the boom broke up.
But nigga never. But your girl, you never had a girl cheat on you before though.
I'll admit that.
Okay, nigga get their bitch fucked all the time.
I'm not mad at Russell. I never want to say that Russell's a bad guy. I never said Russell's a bad guy.
But I'm just saying, you make it seem like because a nigga fucked his bitch and he did something wrong. I say he'll
not his bitch, his ex bitch.
Well, ex bitch, whatever. Nigga get their bitch fucked every day.
Actually, it was so funny.
Man, don't encourage that.
The nigga, they got rid of Jimmy Graham. They got rid of Jimmy Graham because he basically came to the locker room and told Russell about it. Russell did nothing. I'm like, damn, Russell.
What he supposed to do, man? Something. He supposed to fight over because a nigga fucked his bitch? What would you do in that situation?
Y'all done been in that situation before.
So if Sierra, let's hypothetically Sierra does the same thing. Could you say that?
I gotta change my name.
Hey, but you know what though? You know what? Everybody call. Raise your hand right now if I'm not the females, but raise your hand right now if you're a male right now and you think that Russell Wilson is a simp.
Y'all are so wrong.
I'm in the middle.
Cleaning up the streets. He's cleaning up the streets.
I look, and I want to ask y'all because I'm glad you brought that up. I think it's real. Talking about how we've evolved. I think it's real crazy that we out here making black men feel bad for like having feelings.
We joking, man.
No. But I mean, I say no. Joe was on the Anton show. And this dude was trying to get his point across. And, he wasn't really like hitting it like that on, I don't know what he was on. But the girl, like he kept trying to get his point across. And this girl who had posed herself is very eloquent and, gracious and like a real lady. She was like, you don't stop. I see why you be like, I see what men be talking about women. This the simp. Is it you acting like a real simp? And I'm just like, damn, we've been working years trying to get black men to not just be angry at their whole family and let them know it's okay to just say, hey, I'm having a bad day and I feel like this and like to talk about that. And then for people to just kind of shut down emotions, it starts like that. It starts with little shit. like simp.
What's the point,
And
Lance?
before you know it, you got a dude running around fucking bitches, not giving a fuck about where he throw his dick, put his
Ask a better
seed,
question
or
to
what
the
the
Can I
ladies.
ask a
fuck.
question,
Ask a
Lance?
better question to the
Can
ladies.
somebody? What is he talking?
Like some
I don't
people.
understand. I don't understand it. What's the better question we should ask the ladies? Hey, let's be honest. How many guys did y'all play that acted like Russell Wilson in high school? Be honest. Don't sit up here and give me this. Be honest. How many of them guys did y'all play in high school?
No, and you know what?
I didn't play anybody in high school.
Before I matured. That was before I matured. The woman
I didn't play anybody in high school.
and Tony got some Russell Wilson characteristics. And I love that. It's not the Russell said his biggest fear in life is losing Sierra. I love that. Tony, that might be your biggest fear in life. Tony, your biggest fear in life needs to be losing me.
What if your son came and told you that, Mama, I'm scared if I lose
See,
Say,
you know
what's
what?
your question?
Nah.
No, what's your question?
It's all right, Sony.
What's your question?
How many guys that acted like Russell in that sense of manner y'all played in high school?
Oh, I thought you were talking about our sons. I ain't played nobody in high school.
So y'all telling me it was not a...
She said I was quiet.
I was quiet.
You readjusting a lot here. You readjusting a lot.
I'm quiet, though.
Was you kicking it with them type niggas though? But you wouldn't even kick it with them type niggas, those weirdo niggas in school though either.
No.
So why would a woman fuck a weirdo ass nigga? But you wouldn't hang with a weirdo nigga in school.
What was your question? I didn't hear.
I said you wouldn't hang with those weirdo niggas, so you know a woman ain't gonna fuck them weirdo niggas.
No, so
think about it. Think about it.
I didn't date anybody until I was 12th grade. So
I ain't hang with you. Ain't hang around no weird ass niggas.
So go ahead.
I was one of the weird ass niggas. You know what I was pulling? White girl all day, every day. Diamond dozen, bad ones too. Who this one Italian girl? Amy, big titties. Oh, long brown hair. All the dudes wanted to smash, and they
Go back over. We're trying to get back over on the other side. Go ahead.
No, I mean I know how to pull. It's not even about how you. It's not about how you dress. It's not even about what you educated with or uneducated. Literally, just listen to a bitch. You can be any type of dude, and honestly, women just want to feel fucking cared for. They want to feel heard, like on some real deep ass shit. So like, it just niggas didn't have game like that. There was some Poindexter niggas, yeah. I was one of them, but I was more than just Poindexter. I'm the one that's hooking my friends up with the girls, cause I ain't want the hoes. I'm just like, I just need a beard today. Like, I mean, and Russell just got game. I mean, that's leadership. When you have command, you have command.
No, man, tell me, what game did we have? No, answer this question. What game did we have? Please tell me.
We'll see. He got y'all mad and didn't say nothing to y'all. Y'all been talking about him for 6 years, my nigga.
Because y'all be so bothered about this man.
The whole country.
So why didn't you get Sierra first?
I don't know.
With the white girl.
He was with the white girl.
I bet he said the same thing about that.
That's
what
happened.
Guess what? He ended up losing that white girl, and his biggest fear was met. He lost his first wife. He lost his wife, right? So his biggest fear was probably met with her. He ain't dead yet. I'm just saying.
Some black people would call that divine intervention.
Hey,
it's crazy. Like, there used to be a day we used to condemn black dudes like dating white girls. What? I was mad at Sierra because she wanted to get out the hood and go to the suburbs. That's our dream, ain't it?
Hold on. Time out. That's like me saying, Megan, the only fear I have in life is losing that 1989 Buick.
What?
That is not the same.
Okay, that better be That needs to be your biggest fear.
Man, and you want to know something? Them men take care of those classics. Trust me.
Thank you.
Here's my thing. That's a simp, but you a Christian, Joe. So I mean, I'm asking, like, isn't that the order? God, man, woman, and if you actually go back to like the 1950s, kids were workers.
Hey, we ain't talking about biblical terms because back then men got shamed for being simps.
Oh wow!
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right. They were better putting the other families out in other towns. You're right.
Music, they were simping a little bit. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah.
Said, "I'll pay your rent. I'll wash your clothes." Come on.
Y'all just said that was leadership. Provide
my favorite song.
That was an agreement. Like, you stay home, you take care of these kids. I'm gonna go out here and get this money. And I'm not gonna tell you I'm smashing bitches on the side, respectfully.
Russell
I mean, and she didn't tell him that she was smashing the fucking milkman. Respect.
Queso, go ahead, Queso. Go ahead, Queso.
All right, so I'm gonna answer the question. I don't think women should be upset. One, I feel like everybody made valid points, especially I agree with Brian and Tony. But I also think that people are going to do what they want to do. If you have a kid and you are looking for your Russell Wilson, you can find your Russell Wilson. So I don't think the fact that people are men, I don't think the fact that men encouraging other men to build families from scratch and not necessarily, do the non-traditional family thing, I don't think that's going to ruin people's chances of ending up with someone they love. If you meet someone, I mean, if you're going to keep it real, if you meet someone and you like them, you're going to figure out a way to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Just like, I'm sorry, your mother and Tony, just like they were talking about, they met each other, they fell in love, they made it work. And I think that's still going to happen. It's going to continue to happen. But I think that it is harder when you marry someone with kids, or if you enter into a relationship with someone with kids. It is stressful. There's a lot more work. Sometimes you're not even planning to share those resources with that person, whether it's the man or the woman. But it does take a toll on relationships. And some people, it's just best to stay away from that. So I don't think women should be upset at it.
So let me say this.
I don't think so either.
Let me add this little caveat to it. In today's terms, maybe back in the day before simp BC, before simp, but BS before simp. Back in the day, in the 80s, a man would come along, like take for instance Shaq. Shaq said his mama married this guy. This guy came in immediately, disciplined him, got him together. Shaq said if it was not for him, he would not be an NBA player. He probably broke somewhere in jail somewhere, right? So those men back then were the women allowed the man to come in to be the leader. But then fast forward to Generation Z or X, whatever his generation we're in right now. These women, when you come into their lives, don't you say nothing to my damn kid. You don't discipline my kid. Don't say that. You listen. When my kid do something, you come to me. Don't come to my goddamn kid. These women are overprotective. That a man cannot come in and say nothing to their son. Like even when I coach football and these boys was out of line with their mamas, you snatch them up. The mama tell me, ain't nobody ask you to do that. That's what's going in my house. This nigga gonna whoop you one day. He's gonna choke the shit out of you. He already over here pushing you on the sideline, telling you to get out of his face. So when a man step up, you telling him, "Oh, move out the way. No, don't touch my son." So you got women that's overprotective of their children that won't allow a man to be the leader he is in their family.
I just saw a video about that. I just saw a video. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, you gonna go.
I just saw a video where a woman, she was in a car. I don't know if y'all saw this, and she was filming herself, and this dude was trying to talk to her. And she was like belittling this dude the whole time, talking about look at your shoes. What kind of car? What year's your car? Oh, that ain't nothing. And she had like 5 kids. And she was just like, oh, you broke. I need somebody to take care of my kids. And I mean, like that mentality, you're so right about that. There's so many people that have kids that are in that situation and they want somebody to come save them. And that's not necessarily fair. And Lance, I understand what you were saying about, well, don't you want a man to come in and be a leader and things like that? But I'll be honest with you. In today's society with some of these women, bro,
they're not allowed to. You're not allowed to be a leader. They won't.
Well, hopefully they're good enough leaders to not let anybody else's judgment decide their future. Because honestly, I think any man who's taking advice from another man on what to do with his future plans as far as having a family, whether it's their kids or not, you don't know what kind of hope that he's going to be for these kids. And you don't know what kind of man she might choose, if not him, when somebody might come after him.
Lance, let's keep
no,
it real,
see, y'all can't throw no theologies about people breaking in the house, but then like when I say that a bad man
Lance, this not me throwing your sexuality into play, but you are.
It's not about the sexuality.
Listen, I'm telling you, listen. Just check me out. You're a homosexual man, dog. You wouldn't understand what a heterosexual man that got to deal with a woman with children. You wouldn't understand that, so it's hard to fathom that. So what you throwing out to heterosexual men is not working. But let me say this to you, Dwayne, the point you were making. I don't blame women for now allowing men to be the man of the household. There are too many situations where when women do that, we get upset with the one when her children end up dead because of she let that man lead the household. There are a lot of men that are molesting these women children. There are a lot of men that are beating these women children. There's a lot of men that don't even give a fuck about them kids. So we also got to make sure that these women are picking the right men and not always having, and not always having a man don't got to be in a woman's household. I can understand women being protective because every time we see a child get killed, us men probably like you said, well, why she left the child with the man? She didn't even know the man. Now we beating up on the bitch because you said that why we don't let the man leave. She let the man leave. Now her child dead or fucked in the ass somewhere. So we got to be careful with that too.
But
That is
I
okay.
I understand what you're saying. Exactly.
There are daycares that are doing
that. But those are extreme situations.
That's not extreme situation.
Hold on. And let me address Lance. Lance, the situation is this. Say, for instance, I meet a girl. She's got 3 kids already, right? She got 3 kids, 2 baby daddies. That's the average right now. 3 kids, 2 baby daddies.
And this is a girl of good character with discernment, not a body.
Cool. So
I'm trying to check the scene.
You meet her. That's the main question. You met her.
Yeah, I met her.
She's not gonna trust you with her kids.
Hold on. I meet her. And I get with her. We get to know each other, whatever. And I'm like, okay, what are your future plans? In your life. Blah. We talk about life, and then she tells me, I don't have no kids. She tell me, hey, listen, we can date. We getting serious. I just want you to know, after my 3rd kid, I got my tubes tied. And this man want his legacy to live on. He cannot start a legacy of his own because she's got her tubes tied. That's a large amount of women right now. If you go and do the research, a woman that has 3 or more children right now, that a large sum of those women have got their tubes tied. They are dating.
Boy, I be nutting all up in them hoes, boy. I love fucking them type bitches.
You putting some on the dais that's reversible, my nigga. Wow. But you said he talking about women like should be. The double standard is crazy.
If the question encouraging them not to date single mothers anyway, Joe, why would you be trying to talk to her anyway?
Ooh.
Okay,
that part.
Right.
I agree with that question.
Hold on.
I agree with that question. I agree with that question.
And from a biblical standpoint, like my Nathan to David.
We ain't talking about the Bible.
We ain't talking about the Bible.
I'm tired of the Bible, but we ain't talking about the Bible, right?
Okay, no. I'm always
the Bible at the hotel.
Hold on. I'm always going to use a reference of some type. Okay, we ain't got to use the Bible. You got to have your homeboy in your ear, Tony. And me and Tony somewhere, and I'm about to make a mistake and say, Tony, man, but I love her though. I'm looking for Tony to say, hey, bro.
You can't look for that man to tell you that, Joe.
What? But if he know her and I don't know her, and he care about me and my well-being, he's supposed to.
See, now you adding stuff.
Yeah.
Like you just
not right now.
Either way, it shows the lack of leadership and discernment.
Let me push back on that a little bit. I disagree that you shouldn't have anybody in your ear. A wise man seeks counsel. I'm married. I have an inner circle of about 4 friends that are all married that I take advice from. I think that is a wise thing to do. A leader is not someone who goes, I know everything, I'm going to do it my way. A leader is somebody who's going to consider other people's opinion. That's why a lot of times, even on these topics, I listen first before I speak, because I want to hear what everyone has to say, not necessarily to figure out an answer, because sometimes you can hear something that you go, you know what, I wasn't even thinking about that perspective. And that's all this is with the whole men encouraging other men not to date single mothers. There's a lot of things that sometimes, like I heard someone say, dating for love or marrying for love. And that's not even a wise thing, in my opinion. And sometimes when you're in love and you're all googly eyed, you're not thinking clearly, you're not seeing things a certain way. And to have your homeboy or someone in your inner circle to come through and say, hey, man, just let me present this to you. A leader is going to take that into consideration, not necessarily doing what someone tells you to do, but just taking in wise counsel to understand, okay, let me think about that and get out of making decisions based on emotions, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because and I agree with that completely. What you just said, a wise man does need to seek counsel. And so if I'm talking to someone or you trying to talk, but back to the subject because I don't want to get too far off the railroad here. So should women be upset? No, I don't think you should be upset, because if women are holding women accountable, then that woman will be telling that woman, hey girl, listen, you did make these decisions to have these 4 kids with 3 baby daddies. You can't. So if he don't want to be with you,
do they listen to the woman?
I like how y'all stretch.
Do you listen to the woman or the man now? Now we're going back to a power struggle. Who's to respect more? The woman's
I like
counsel,
how
or
y'all
the man
stretch.
that's supposed to be leading?
But
See,
Lance,
we have to get on the same page. That's all I'm saying.
You risk it. It's going over your head. What I'm saying
But
to
is
you
there
is,
any pushback?
if
K
women
Soul
are
say you gotta
if
listen,
men are
Lance.
holding women accountable, if women are holding women accountable, and men are holding men accountable, then the woman's not even going to be upset when the man is not interested in her. When the man tells her that he don't want to be where he gonna move on to somebody else. These women need
Okay,
to
but then, okay, but why and why
Think
she's
about what
and
he
at the
said,
same
Lance.
time, while you're saying that women should have counsel, you're on one hand, you're telling men need to lead. You need to give them an opportunity to lead. Well, if the woman's in their ear telling him, you don't need to listen to that man, I don't trust that man, I don't think you should be with that man. It is supposed to be her contention that she is supposed to follow that man and have that commitment with him, make him feel like stop. This is what we just said.
About
Lance,
listening.
if it was up to you, Lance, it will rename.
Y'all look now. Y'all are trying to insult me, and y'all are trying to knock it down. But that's what you just said.
But
Does a woman
Lance,
lead, or does she listen to her counsel? The counsel is not the same.
But
It is
not
the
the
same.
same.
If a woman's telling Megan, listen, that's
Let
a
the
dude
women
right
talk.
there.
Let the women talk. You
Yeah, go
talking
ahead.
for the
Go ahead,
women. What
Megan.
the women got to say about
Go
this?
ahead,
You're a
Megan.
man. Let the women talk.
Go ahead, Megan.
I have a
Speak
question.
for women.
So,
I'm asking.
would y'all be this passionate if it was women? If I was out here encouraging other women not to date men with kids?
Yeah, because
Hey,
I mean,
Hell
I feel
yeah.
the same
I
way.
wouldn't be
I'm
with
with
that.
you.
Well,
I mean,
then
like, would
Mo
y'all
and Tony wouldn't be together. They wouldn't be
Well, we
married
wouldn't
for
be
12
together.
years.
And I think so. All the men on this platform have kids, except for my brother Lance. So if I was out here encouraging women not to date men with kids and this and because all the same points that y'all was saying about a baby daddy, the baby mamas do that times 10. Just because
Yeah, I
women are
teach my
emotional.
daughter.
So
I
it's time,
tell my daughter,
it's time
don't date
10.
no nigga
So
with no
all the
kids.
points that y'all were making about baby daddies, women have to deal with that same stuff. And a woman will be quick to say, oh, don't bring that bitch around my kids,
Oh, I
when
had that
women are a
happen.
lot more aggressive with it.
Meg,
So
We agree. We both agree then.
We
I'm gonna
agree
keep
though.
that
So what's
same
that?
energy.
So
we
Lance,
have,
Same thing,
the
most
women,
definitely with the
have
girl.
she just
and
agreed
the
with
way
us.
I
So,
know the one, I know all of that stuff, but I'm saying, would y'all have this same energy if I was out here preaching to
It's
women
more dangerous for our daughters.
not to date men with kids?
Yes.
Megan, I would have the
mother.
same.
there's no
Yeah,
pushback for
if
me
I'm a
on that.
man,
There's no pushback.
if I'm Future,
Agree with you,
and you're
mother.
telling a female not to fuck with Future, then I'm okay with you saying that because Future ain't shit.
No, I'm not
Matter of
saying,
fact,
I'm not saying
Shit. And he's not a leader of men. So of course,
Facts.
he's not a
well,
leader.
y'all are
Everybody else-
using a trash example. I'm saying if
Is
it
he
was
a good family man?
if
It
it
don't
was a
matter.
good
It don't
upstanding
matter.
man and
That
he
don't
had
matter at all.
kids,
It don't matter.
he
The
could
character don't matter at
marry,
all.
y'all would be okay with
Daughter ain't
that.
gonna talk about a nigga with
You
no
had
kids.
kids before you got married in this marriage.
Yeah, who?
You.
Yeah, absolutely. I got options.
After
Women don't have
30.
options. Women don't have options. The number is 14
After
women
30.
to every one man. I can find
Nobody's
somebody
pushing
out
back.
there.
That's because y'all out dating white women. Hey.
Oh shit! Hey, that's
I'm
hey,
sorry.
don't do that. We can talk about
Hey,
that now.
he was
We
dating
can
a
talk
white
about that.
man.
Yeah, don't
Now
do
you
that.
got your
Serena's
white
dating a
woman,
white man,
man?
ain't she?
No, I'm just saying, don't do
I'm
that.
just saying.
White woman, Dwayne?
No, hell no.
Oh, I'm about to
Joe,
say.
you ain't never had a white woman.
No. I'm not with. He said, "Am I with one?"
Oh.
Yeah, but
I
I've
would never fuck
I've
a white
swam in that
woman.
lake before.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
That's a
Had the
listen.
devil's blood running through my baby vein. No,
All I'm
buddy.
saying
I
is,
would.
the ratio
No.
of women to men is 14
Fuck
to
it.
1. If
Imagine they
that
get sweaty on you. You gonna
if that's
smell like an animal after you fuck a white man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How you going?
Brian, no, he'll fuck a white girl.
I would never fuck a white woman. Never.
Wow.
I have. They say I have.
can't knock you.
I lived in the country, so it was.
Hey,
It
shit,
was
I
more
lived in the
white.
country too. I'm from
Hey,
Mississippi.
it was a
I
surplus
messed
some
around.
artists.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I
They
can't
say
knock
they-
y'all fucking them KBs, man.
Hey, but I'm gonna say this, and we'll move on to the. I'm gonna say this, and we move on to the last subject of the night. So I will say this: when it comes to the numbers, it's a difference between women and men because there's a ratio of 14 to 1, and that 14 to 1 is important because out of those 14 women that I have options of, that means that 14 girl may say, I don't want no nigga with kids, and you may tell her that. But number 10 may say, oh shit, I don't care, I like him. We have options. When you don't have options, when you go to the store and there's no toilet paper, there's no Angel Soft, or there's no great value tissue, then women, that's
use
the
the
problem
newspaper.
women have right now.
Do you have an
right.
option once you're committed?
But hey, Dwayne. But
That was
Dwayne.
horrible.
But Dwayne, but since you use that analogy though, Dwayne, I get what you're saying. But if you had that, well, use that mindset so you won't be negative towards black women since you got options. Because if you had options, you wouldn't be so negative and beating these bitches up all the time, bro.
Because they out here being options and you out here being like a primary.
I'll say this though, Brian.
You got options now.
Hey, hold on, Brian. I'll say this. Everybody needs their ass whooping. If you had options, you would be on
everybody with the bitches and the niggas.
You on here, you say you fucking
and
2 3 bitches a day, and then you talking about you fucking 2 or 3 bitches a day, skiing across the room under a school bus and over a school bus. What are we talking about? The women can look at you right now and say, you know what, Dwayne may beat them hoes up, but Brian fucking all of them. He making the bitches the ones that Dwayne talking about.
Yeah, I'm the nigga that's using them bitches. I'm the nigga that needs some place to stay. I'm that nigga. I'm the nigga that don't care.
That got her other nigga paying for his deal.
That's why I can't believe.
Are you Future?
See, but that's why.
Yeah, Brian is Future. Brian is Future.
Well, and Brian, did you say you have a girlfriend?
Because he really will be.
Yeah, I got a girlfriend.
He got a girlfriend.
I got a girlfriend.
He had a girlfriend.
I got a girlfriend.
So how you got a girlfriend?
Up like that?
I'm a man. Hold on. I told you I'm a leader in my own right. I do what I want to do on 10 toes down. Y'all niggas can't do what y'all want to do.
And that is your definition of leadership.
That's for me.
That is your definition of leadership, is being able to do whatever you want, having that psychological freedom to thinking that you have the freedom to make whatever decision you want.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Lance.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, in a sense, that is leadership. But I mean, there are other people that look that they can't be as strong of a leader as their followers. So,
what I'm asking is, nigga, horny little motherfucker keep fucking the same woman for all these years. Nigga want to fuck some new pussy?
No, Brian, you don't. Okay, you don't have no perspective of.
Brian, man.
Right, wow.
We got
I'm really like, I appreciate your support of the ladies, but then it's when you come and say all this other stuff, it's like, do you really support the ladies, or
I give y'all the most respect. Listen, when I'm around a woman, I give her the most respect. Like right now, I got this young lady up in I think she's in Flower Mound. This lady give me a couple dollars. She don't look too good. But I fuck with her though. You know what I mean? So I give her a little game on how to keep her husband. And guess what? I get some of that money every time her husband get paid. I get a little something. She don't look all that though, but I enjoy it. And I give it to my old lady.
You are the fucking problem.
Hold on.
I don't think he's the problem. Good about herself when he leaves. You're the problem.
No. I don't think he's the problem. It's the woman who allows that is the problem.
No,
don't try to flip it to the woman. Don't try to flip it to the woman.
I'm always the problem.
How many guys got to take you on a date to go smash, but it's another guy that don't have to take you on a date, he can smash without taking you on a date? How many guys, did every guy that you smashed, did they take you on a date? Is it yes or no?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I ain't smashed that many.
That part. And it was way more than a date.
Every guy. I have 4 children.
Okay.
4 children.
Right. I believe you. I gotta take your word for it.
You ain't got no choice.
I take your word for it.
Because you don't know me outside of this. The only person that really know me outside of this is Joe.
So listen, y'all.
I said okay. I agree.
We can keep this conversation going too, but I think it's the last one of the night, man, and we're gonna head out. So this one right here, bro. This is a real topic that we talked about on what I don't even remember what platform we was on. I think it was me and Jedi. But anyway. So
you so famous now.
Should weight matter to a man in a relationship?
Why is this all about me?
Oh Lord, right.
Yeah, man, it don't matter. If you I look at it like this. If the man complain about a woman body, that man body gotta be right too. So if a man complain about how fat a woman is, he
you better be perfect.
Yeah, gotta be right. So
hey, Brian, I know Brian, stop whatever you listen, let me tell you why I disagree. Let me tell you why I disagree. Because this is
Joe ain't gonna ever agree.
No. Men and women are different in that aspect. Let me tell you why. Because men are more visual, women are more emotional. So women attach themselves to you emotionally. Men attach them. When a man see a woman, he know immediately damn, she beautiful. Damn, she fine. Women are attached to men. That's why you see a lot of these ugly ass niggas with these fine ass females because they're attached to them emotionally. I know a couple
Hell
right
no,
now.
man.
So
Man, you
Dwayne,
crazy.
so if a woman has,
Dwayne.
I got a question. So if a
Disagree.
woman
Who
has your baby in
disagree?
a relationship, you gonna break
Austin.
up with her? I just gotta ask the question. If a woman has your baby in a relationship and she gains weight after the baby, you gonna break up with her?
No. Okay, let me tell you this. That's understood. So let me go back to what we talked about on the other platform.
Okay.
It's understood if a woman has a medical condition, if she's had your children, if she's done all that. But if you're a single woman and you just walking around eating fucking Cheetos all day and eating goddamn 14-inch pizzas every day, and you ain't got no man, no bills, no responsibilities, and you just walk around like that, I mean, what do you expect?
When you was 13 to one dudes to one woman?
Come on, nah, Dwayne,
Joe, you always go to the extreme, bro.
Yeah, cause women can look at you like that, Joe. Women got a choice not to deal
look
with
at the
big
double
niggas.
standard. Y'all want us to
women got
have
a choice not to deal with you, dog. You gotta look good for the woman, my nigga.
look at
the bitch down at your
us.
That don't make no sense. Because think about it. Does the
Come on,
coochie change if she gains weight? That's all I gotta ask. If I smash and she gain weight, does the coochie change?
No.
If it doesn't, I'm still hitting.
Nigga, you
Right.
ain't fucking on home.
Right, ankles, but not
Hold
weight.
on,
So we're gonna talk. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
Weight is not gonna.
No, he said when she gained weight, does the coochie change? I said no, but the access to it changes. But that was just a joke, dog. That was just a joke. But no, I honestly don't feel like that. Like weight should in a relationship, it shouldn't matter. Now, if you're dating, like Dwayne said, me and our visual, none of us can honestly sit up here and say that we'll see a 400, 500 pound woman and be like, damn, I want to get with her. And right next to her, and right next to her is a girl that's 5'7", 100.
It depends what your preferences are.
I say this, I'm fucking both of them bitches. I don't care. Them women be having 2 to 3 kids. Dudes are still smashing that.
Goddamn.
Well, and one thing about it. Hold on. Don't get me too much because we talked about that before. One thing about it, a nigga gonna smash. It don't matter how big. But we're not talking about smashing though. We're talking about being in a relationship. We're not talking about whether you're smash or not.
You think a woman don't want to look at a man's body when that nigga on top of her? You don't think that woman want to rub a 6-pack when that man on top of her?
It's different, bro.
So the woman just can't have no type of business.
So we have no preference.
Thank you. Come on, man. You can't put everything on a woman.
No, I do want to say from a size standpoint, bucking with skinny and bucking with big, the big is way more grateful and appreciative. They are willing to like go the extra bucking mile every single fucking time.
What you say?
But let me say something from the woman's perspective, though.
I'm just saying.
So y'all want us to have a woman supposed to have big titties, a big ass, a flat stomach. Y'all want us to have like all this stuff. And have babies.
Regardless. You
and get it back, smash it, all of that. Like, it's a double standard. But y'all don't have to do nothing.
You have a type. Hold on. Do women not have a type?
We said Tony just told you the difference.
That's what I'm saying. Like women can't have a type.
Tony just said.
Hold on, but see, this is what I'm saying. Like Brian trying to get some pussy and shit, he's trying to increase his pussy count. No, bro, I'm not beating up on a woman either. What I'm saying is that I'm not beating up on a woman either. We're not talking about whether a woman can get some dick, point blank, period. That bitch can have whatnot. She can have one damn eye in the center of her head and still get some dick. We're not talking about whether or not she can get some dick. We're talking about whether or not that she can get a man and get married and all this other kind of stuff. The chances of you getting a high quality man or whatever, 500 pounds and stuff, is very slim. Like, I mean, we can go to any celebrity. When have you ever seen any celebrity? It don't matter if they a millionaire, if they are almost a billionaire. When have you ever seen any celebrity get out of a car with a big woman on their side? It doesn't happen.
It don't happen.
But we ain't talking about celebrities. Y'all always going to celebrities. We talking about real people.
Regular men.
No, but even
regular black men
in a relationship. We talking about in a relationship.
Hey, because they could get out of
That's what
car
I'm
with that
talking
skinny
about.
man, skinny
But
lady, and they
that's what I'm
fat
talking about.
woman at home.
If that celebrity is in a relationship with a big heavy woman or whatever, guess what? She's not gonna be on that red carpet with him. She's not.
The big girl from Press.
Well, that's for sure, big. We talking about reality, my nigga.
Okay,
We talking about real
about.
life. It's big bitches getting married, my nigga. Shit,
Also,
Oh my God! I'm not saying that they're not getting married, bro. What are you talking about? Oh my God, Brian, you taking this, bro? I never said now time big bitches don't get married. I never said they.
Ooh, what
I don't
happened
know.
to them
I
big
don't know
women?
what my cousin bad. Bad. Like I don't even like shit. Our whole family built like that, ass and titties, like everybody. But even the biggest. We got personality. I mean, like it's a whole different thing down here. Y'all, like people down there are way more worried about looks than Arkansas. I was just telling my friend yesterday. I was like, before I left for Arkansas, I had a whole fro. Like oldest rough and like looking ass nigga. And I came down here, got dreads and shit, learn how to clean myself up, start being self-conscious about my weight and shit. But I mean, people down here in Arkansas still Arkansas. Tooth missing, like buying shit. That sometimes we wear sweats to Walmart. But I mean, like there's niggas that's been with bitches forever because they love them for their heart. That's not like a standard that we like.
Hold on. But listen though, that's all fine and dandy to love a person for their heart. But when you initially meet somebody, unless you like big women, if that's what you're attracted to, that's what you're attracted to. But when you first see a woman or whatever, the first thing you're gonna look at is her physical appearance. Brian, you can't sit up there and tell me if you just walked outside and randomly saw a big girl right now, the first thing gonna come to your mind, man, I want to fuck the hell out of her. That's not gonna come to your mind if you see a big woman. Now, if she gave you some conversation and let you know that you could fuck, you've already said you're a fucker. But that's not gonna be the first thing that come to your mind when you see somebody. So just be real with yourself.
That's not with every woman though, bro. It's some big bitches I seen. I said, damn, I fuck up pretty ass.
While he talking.
So Brian
said, let me see that water.
Yeah, man.
So Brian,
I like that though. I ain't like that though, bro. Like, if I see a woman, it's skinny women I want to fuck. Like,
let K-Soul go.
Go ahead, K-Soul.
You also got to look at it from a health perspective too, because if you're talking about being in a relationship with someone, you guys are together, you guys love each other, you care about each other, you want each other to be around for a while. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think.
Yeah, I agree.
I think weight should matter. And I think preferences are okay, but I also think it's not just a physical thing, it's also an internal and a health thing. Because if someone's just eating fried chicken wings and French fries and pizza all day and they're gaining weight, and we're preaching this message of body positivity, and that person ends up with all kinds of health issues, and now you got to deal with that, and someone could potentially die early and leave the kids alone, and that goes back to keeping the family structure intact and all that. So I think weight should matter. I don't necessarily think it's just a physical thing, but I think it's even more importantly a health thing.
Health.
But I mean, can you be
like bonus points? You like
those health issues?
They eating Brian up in these comments, boy. They tearing
what they say, Brian full of shit.
They say you full of shit, boy.
Cause I fuck a big girl.
I want to hear my man Jedi Mike.
I mean, and there are skinny women who are more having health issues than big women.
Them skinny women be run through.
Okay, but what I'm saying is,
let's be honest, skinny women ain't getting that much attention
on the radio. Like when I was on the radio, everybody, I think Tony and Megan heard the interview. This girl on the radio, this is the problem that I have. If I come outside in a damn a Rocky cutout t-shirt, Tony gonna say, hey man, hey, get your big ass back in here and change clothes, right? Mm-hmm. What the problem is, these big women, they get so big, right? And then they put a two-piece on, you can only see the top. Mm-hmm. And then you have these women saying, girl, you slaying them hoes today.
Are you saying Lizzo? You basically saying Lizzo. It seems like you're pointing towards Lizzo.
Yeah, Lizzo is built like a Glade plug-in, but I
think Lizzo needs mental health.
I mean, I don't know. When I see skinny hoes though that look like trashy, I don't think, oh my God, it's like she's a bad bitch. I think she look like a prostitute. Like if you don't, I mean, if it's not like a right kind of like nice look to it, there's not any kind of like motherfucking elegance or class to it. So I mean, like at the same aspect, if a skinny bitch come out with a motherfucking thong and it's like, going into September, like my nigga,
everything.
You're not even at the pool. Like you straight in the community. You came out for the mail.
I'm gonna use me as an example. Everything ain't for everybody. If my big ass, I'm a big dude. My big ass is not gonna go on a fucking Nike commercial and run the 40 with no shirt on. Good fucking, it's not in my lane.
But there are guys that
DJ Khaled would come on that stage with his shirt off.
That's not in my lane.
And nobody said a word to DJ Khaled.
He don't eat coochie.
Or Rick Ross.
Yeah. That's what he said.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be running up down the field, running the 40 on the fucking, and then get to the end of the camera talking about just do it. Lizzo, you're not fucking J-Lo. Stop going to the fucking game.
Why does she have to be J-Lo though?
Because she look like a baller.
She does not have to be J-Lo. Why can't she just be comfortable in her own skin?
She throws the rock in her head. Because she'll get
comfortable in her own skin. Oh my God.
People have a problem with that. People have a problem with that.
Do you have a fat phobia?
Who?
You.
I know.
He can't be afraid of himself.
Hold on. Let me.
You sure you absolutely can. Humans are every day.
Let me address it. I think
how you guys doing?
I think people that are big should dress appropriately and stop.
That's what you think, Joe.
Like unwrapped gifts.
That's your opinion.
Let the women be happy. Let them do them.
But there are men that think it's crazy that you have this beard and these dreads and this t-shirt. You should have a collar. It should be buttoned up. You should have a tie. There are different manners.
It'll be even crazier if I cut holes in the nipples and have my fucking stomach out.
And that big ear.
Hey, I be talking about your ass like a motherfucker.
God damn, too far away. Still wearing a t-shirt.
I bet you go
Jedi, I'm like, come on, Jedi.
Jedi Mike.
I'm like, what's up, Jedi?
How you guys doing? Good to see y'all. Good to see you again. But yeah, so saying that should weight matter to a man in a relationship, I was like, yes. Now going to the point, some of you guys were talking about saying the debate you kind of had with Sierra and Bishop about this, like, you know, the whole thing is easy to say different strokes for different folks. It's easy to say that, but also not knowing that when you're in this competitive world and you're in this competitive market, that knowing that you being to become the best version of yourself, not only, you know, mentally, spiritually, but also physically, puts you up higher tier than others. Same thing if I have a higher GPA in my class than I do with the other person. It's the same thing. And then whether men or women want to acknowledge it, because it's easy to say, oh, we know this age, we're like, oh, let them be happy. Okay, you can be happy and lose at the same time, you know, and that happiness comes short term. I understand you kind of, you know, there's a way you come correct saying, you just bashing people because of their weight, whatever. No. I'm not saying that. Now, there's different levels that you just have to accept that us as men, in terms of how we are looking, you know, in terms of physically compared to women, whatever. When in a man, you know, when we get married and stuff, they're not looking at us, they're looking at our girl. Like, you know, in terms of what they're looking at us is more of our resources. I can be looking at some of these rappers, these ugly motherfuckers out here, you know, and you're not going to tell me up here they're not looking at them. They're looking at their resources. They're looking at their girl and say, okay, all right, he's legit. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in now. That's just how it is. That's what always been throughout history. Honestly,
that's what we made it.
Right. But what I'm saying is that for you not to acknowledge that even so that you know, I challenge you, Dwayne. You got my Instagram. Look at my page, right? Right now. Yeah. You get your phone. You look at it. Right. Okay. I'm in a relationship right now. I used to be. I was before I was younger. I wasn't taking care of myself, my body, or anything like that. But I started to take more of my priorities, which was my health and everything. And since then, not only that, mentally it changed, but everything changed around me. I got more respect because I was taking care of myself. I got more respect because I kept myself well shaved, treat myself. But also I went to the gym and got to the point where I was the best shape of my life. And then that led to basically getting in a relationship where I am right.
This your girl?
What?
This your girl on this picture with you?
Which one?
The yellow skin chick?
No, that's not her. No.
Oh, how many you got, Jedi? Okay, go ahead.
No, but I'm just saying, look at my workout photo.
Yeah, I see it. I'll finish show it to him. Look at this.
I can't see that. I can't either.
Or the boy cut up like a goddamn
I see it, bro.
Arm hand.
And the only reason why I'm showing that is just saying that this is just on men's side. This is what saying when you become the best version of yourself, physically, you are going to reap the benefits of that. Same thing for women. So for you not to acknowledge that, I just like, come on. And they'll say, well, why let them be happy? Okay, but internally, they'll be happy in front of you. Once we go back into our homes, when we close the blinds, everything, that's when the real feelings of what you might be feeling. Man, looking yourself in the mirror when you get out the shower and all that stuff. That's when it comes. So I just think that for you to acknowledge that and understand that when you become the best version of yourself physically, you're gonna reap the benefits of that. And for not to acknowledge that there are men and women who are winning because of that, you have to know that's just the world we live in.
I mean, it does have an impact. You are right. I mean, but also there are other things. I mean, you've changed your body chemistry. Usually, you change your diet. Usually, it's healthier, which I mean goes to like a happier disposition. I mean, usually the people I know that have lost weight, they kind of feel like guilty because they have like fat friends and they don't want to, like now they stop hanging out with the friends because they're embarrassed, and the same shame that forced them into conformity now still continues to affect them. And some of them I've seen become worse people. But for most people, they see that they have the willpower to do shit, and they can get shit done. And that's usually. So I mean, yeah.
Sierra just talked about how Lizzo is happy in her own skin, but if you go on Lizzo's Instagram, she has several.
I say, why can't she? I never said she was because I don't know Lizzo like that.
She's on Instagram crying, breaking down, talking about, I'm so big, I don't know what to do. If you are safe in your own skin, you're not going to be on Instagram making your followers sending you notes saying, "Oh, it's okay, girl. Oh, you're okay. Oh." That lets you know right there she has millions.
When have we ever fat shamed Jill Scott? Let's be honest. When have we ever?
But I mean,
Jill Scott lost weight.
Huh?
Jill Scott lost weight.
Is she more? Is she Jennifer Hudson small, or she just lost a little weight? Which one?
A little weight.
No, not a little.
She's not
a little. She's lost a lot of weight.
75 pounds. The girl got a whole shape out that motherfucking
she lost a
pillow suit that she had on for her body. Not that she looked bad. She always
still do something.
And for years, Monique been saying for years, skinny bitches. That was her whole act. Look at her now. Right?
Look at the girl better when she was big. Monique looked better when she was
same thing.
Hey, she do, man. She showed fine.
Jones
look at Adele though. Look at Adele right now.
And when Adele lost weight, when she went on her weight loss journey and she lost a bunch of weight, she got a bunch of hate comments from the same people that had her back when she was
a big girl,
which I thought was very interesting.
I can't believe you lost weight. I can't believe why would you lead a fat squad and all this shit?
Just throw that out there.
Hold on, Sierra has something to say. I thought.
No.
Oh,
okay,
go
ahead.
No, so basically what I'm saying is, you look at all these people. There's a change like this girl. What's the girl? Rebel something? The white girl that was big that did the movie.
Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson.
Yeah, I did. She did lose some weight.
She lost some weight because she said that, hey, I want to have children. Like, I want to have children. I want to get married and have family and stuff. And it's like, and then now she's not Fat Amy anymore.
I do want to say this though, comedian wise, just on a comedian tip, and even Will Ferrell and other fat comedian Chris Farley stayed fat because it's funnier. Will Ferrell stays fat because Will Ferrell was athletic as fuck when he was in college.
Did Chris Farley have an overdose?
Huh?
Chris Farley,
yeah.
He was depressed about his weight because he felt like he had to keep it.
Yeah, he had a drug overdose.
There's other stuff he was. Yeah.
But I mean, fat is funny. I mean, it is. I don't know.
Kevin's, yeah.
And I'm just taking the page. I wish Anton was over here, Jedi Mike, because I will let him explain it himself because I don't want to say something that he didn't say. So I'll paraphrase. But when we were talking about does weight matter in the relationship, he said yes from a health standpoint. So he did say that. Then he also said from an appearance standpoint, he said when I walk into a meeting or I walk into a party or I walk into a situation, he said when I bring my wife with me, he said, you know how many deals in my business? He's not Anton is not a big celebrity. He's a regular guy like us. He said when I walk into a business meeting and I'm trying to get deals and trying to get real estate and buy houses, he said, my wife comes in looking beautiful, fit and fine. He said, you know how many deals I got because of my wife? Just because she came in and smiled and looked eloquent on my arm. He said, bro.
What happened on the Family That Prays Together? She was smashing the boss. I'm just saying.
No,
that's not it, bro.
I'm just saying, can I say something, yo? And I'm not trying to come at you, bro, but like I hate when people do that. And this is an issue. We have any person doing well within the Black community, and we instead of just acknowledging how well they're doing, we got to make it about something negative. Why does she have to be smashing the boss? I think the issue is, bro, we got to stop doing that. We got to stop looking at what people are doing when they're successful. We got to praise that. And I'm not coming at you personally. You probably
I'm listening.
but we gotta chill off that, bro, because people do that all the time. I see it in the Lapeef Network comments. I see it in like a lot of channels like these. People in the comments, just somebody will say something great they did, and they'll try to find some negative loophole to like, nah, it was probably this happening in the background. We got to stop doing that.
You see,
we're literally talking about fat girls though, and how they should succumb themselves to like a pressure of societal standards. Like a lot of big girls are healthy. Like my mom was a big girl, my aunts were big girls. We cooked good food, like they cooked like real food. They were healthy. I mean, if health is the aspect, that's one other thing. My mom was pulling niggas. I ain't know cowboy and all this and that and other, just tricking them. I mean, all my aunts, they had game. Like that's never stopped. Like anything. If you big, especially when you big, you find something to compensate for that. I know a lot of big girls that know how to pull the room, work a room. They can get any nigga that they want.
They ain't gonna be able to work a room
let me ask you a question.
Let me take a page out of Brian's book here. Let me help you. This goes back to what me and Tony talked about. Go to Home Depot and buy you 5 orange buckets. Because even as a big woman, I'm telling you, even as a big woman, you can get buckets and buckets and buckets of dick. You can be a shadow. Let me tell you something. You can be a shadow. Let me tell you something that, what's the lady's name? Tamala Mann. Tamala Mann, the singer. She said these words. You got to go read her book. She said when she was a big girl, she was 380 pounds. That was her top weight. She said dudes used to come over to her house before she met her husband. Yeah. Dudes used to come over to our house. She was called a shadow chick. She said shadow chick is the fat girl. Yeah, a shadow chick is the fat girl that all the men come sleep with at night, but they don't want to be seen with in the day. So she was getting buckets of dick, but nobody was taking her on dates. Nobody was taking her to meet the parents. Nobody was
putting a ring on her finger.
13-1, Joe. There's a lot of women like that in all shapes and sizes that are getting fucked and not getting seen with in the daytime. I mean, dudes have never really had like that's the thing. Y'all are making women think that dudes like really have a super big preference, and in actuality, when it comes down to it, there's a fantasy version. There's a fantasy version of what men want, and then there's like a reality version of what men want. They teach you this shit in health school and in psychology. I mean, men say they want a stripper, like they visually, that's nice. But they know that there's. You just said that you fuck this nigga.
Look, talking about relationships, nigga.
I'm talking about relationships too.
Who want to have relationships?
Okay, but y'all going out with the fine ass. I'm sorry. Who y'all gonna fuck? Y'all talking about these fine ass baby mamas, but the fat girls can't wear nothing. I mean, damn, it's hot outside.
They talk about entertainment. They talk about in the entertainment world that you don't see rich motherfuckers stepping out with big bitches. You know what I mean? That's what they saying. Like you ain't gonna see men of stature or men going to these business meetings with big women. It's just not gonna work. I ain't saying it don't happen, but it's just in reality, it's just not real.
I mean, same thing for black men with white women. There's a lot of black men with white women, but that's once again, that's us as a society, something that we do. We see white women as a success. Like that's the thing to do.
What is it?
No, I'm just saying that I'm not saying that we do. I'm saying that some shit that was curated by society. That was.
I'm not understanding you now. Okay, Lance.
We just talked about 2 weeks ago how white has been our ceiling, and we need to look past that. We just said that. Do you think the women are different? Like y'all are trying to be combative because it sounds horrible, but black dudes are still marrying white women after they smash black women.
They don't fucking white women since the Moors was running white world, man. I mean, don't black women marry white women?
Huh?
White women been getting fucked by niggas before slavery.
I'm saying
when Master was smashing the black woman, they were doing the same.
For the societal, man. I'm saying what they signify. Let's not sit here and pretend like we didn't all just agree that even though it was wrong, white was still a signal of success for us as black. For most people.
For
most
people.
For most people. That's the level that we're trying to get to.
I don't know what type of niggas you know, bro. I'm thank God I ain't
oh
grow
my
up
God.
around the
So
type
y'all
of
see, I
niggas.
know that like 2 weeks ago
I
we
have
didn't
a
say
friend
that
named Kay. I think
one of our problems
you
what we
might
were
like
setting
her.
white people as our success level. And OJ not marry a white girl. How many black dudes out here marrying white girls? Just 2 years ago, all these black dudes was on top of these black male celebrities
Lil
for marrying
Bron
white
got a
girls.
black wife. God
I'm
damn.
just saying, who y'all got left to date? Ain't date
It's
no fine ass
88% of
thoughts.
black men marry black women, bro. What the fuck is up
Well,
with you,
Lance,
man?
once you
That's
cross
what I'm.
back
That's
over,
they saying like they
Lance,
don't. They
once
saying
you
like
cross
black
back
girls
over
don't
and
get
date black
played,
women, then
thoughts don't get
once you
played,
cross back over and
black
date
women don't
black
get
women,
played.
though.
That's what they've been saying this whole
Bro,
time.
bro,
You got
Cross
to
back
be
over
a
and
you're
date
a
certain
black
gay
side.
man
women.
telling us what black men and black women date.
Jedi Mike, go ahead, Jedi Mike.
Shit.
I'm now
I'm telling y'all what y'all saying. I'm not dating these hoes.
You not
Y'all
dating
are.
Go
I'm
ahead,
telling you
Jedi.
exactly
who's
what
the
y'all been
hoes?
saying to me these past 3 weeks.
The hoes, though.
That's all I've been saying.
Because if we're doing it wrong, once you cross back over and show us and date black women,
Oh,
why would
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
that?
because
Why would I
see
do
a
that?
gay
And
man
you know what
telling
you
us
do?
some shit like,
I'm
You don't
already
even want
taking
the
care of
black
their
even though you don't
kids.
agree with what I said a while ago, agree with
I'm
this.
already taking care of their kids.
No,
Why do I need to
Lance,
date them
Lance,
too?
you're doing black women a disservice. At
Jedi.
least we're trying. If we fuck up with one
You
black
don't know
woman,
what I do
why
for
are we
black
with...
women.
No. But you
I
said
gotta
that
fuck them
means you're
too.
not leader.
Oh,
You need to marry
damn.
him.
And don't they got
You're
enough
doing a
kids?
disservice.
I'm
You're doing a
population control
disservice.
right now.
But hold on, you're doing disservice to black women because you want to say that we're the problem, that we shouldn't be the leader. If you know what a leader
No, I
is,
didn't say
why
that.
don't you cross
I
back
didn't say
over
that.
and lead these women?
I did
Then
not
we can
say
take
that.
they
I did
need
not
you,
say
man.
y'all were the problem.
it's a
I did not say that.
Yeah,
And
he
y'all
did
trying to
say
think like
that.
I'm attacking y'all. I'm telling you, I'm just repeating exactly what we've been saying for the past 3 or 4 weeks. We've been talking about girls who look good and they had their ass out and this, that, and the other, and they look like a thought, acting like a thought, letting dudes smash, and then had a nerve enough to ask for something of value when they're not acting of value. And then we were talking about, fat bitches, how they should cover up. They don't have the right to show their stuff. I mean, fat girls don't get rich dudes, but like, how many rich people do we fucking know? I thought in Africa, fat was like a sign of royalty.
In
Like,
Africa,
America's
nigga,
not
we in
the only
America,
place.
nigga. What the fuck?
I mean, America's not the only fucking standard.
But that's
Like,
why
our
I
standard
stay.
doesn't
I
mean a
stay
shit.
in America. I'ma like what I like. If I want to hit a 400 pound on a CPAP machine, I'ma do that. If I want to hit a skin, I'ma do that.
Shit, all I see is a good meal when I see a big girl.
Damn,
I'm a
man, just
good girl.
let the
Let's
hell
cook.
nigga men
Shit.
do their
you
thing,
damn sure
man.
don't eat it. So what's
Look, man.
so you're the problem.
God damn.
Shit.
Because
I mean, y'all brought up the topic. I think all women are beautiful. I think people in general can do whatever they want.
Hey, women, Lance sold y'all short. You know what? We're not.
You know what? I'm gonna say this right now.
Lance.
All right, you know what? This is the same dude that's like when we get in arguments with our women that they go back to, and yet when they're talking to guys like you, saying, "Yeah, honey, you ain't shit either." You're the
hell the
you're
fuck
the
I don't.
homewrecker.
Hell
You're
the fuck I
homewrecker.
don't. I just if they
Yep,
do
You're the
something stupid,
homewrecker.
if they do
He
something
did.
stupid,
I
I will
found
tell
you.
them.
Lance,
The Holy
you
Joe,
I found you, demon.
Joe,
I found you.
Joe, you better account for my character.
I found you.
So I will say, cause I've been knowing Lance for about 10 years. So I will say Lance is he a good dude, bro. He's
I know, I'm just messing with you.
He does hold females accountable. However, at times when he talking about all this togetherness and all big women are good and all this, if I gave each one of you dudes on this platform, especially Brian, if I gave Brian $3 million and Brian had a status and he was $3-4 million richer, he may go get him a couple of shadow chicks. But ain't no way if Brian got some status, he gonna be with a big chick. Let's stop it.
But when we ask the better question,
I agree with that.
Let's ask the better question. Hey, but let's ask the better question. Why are those women allowing themselves to be shadow
Can I say
chicks?
Tony something? Now, Tony, I was answering you in a regular way as a broke nigga. But as a rich nigga, I'm fucking a bad bitch, my nigga. I ain't finna walk with no Lizzo nowhere unless a Lizzo bring me a bag.
See what I'm talking about?
So, okay, I got
What does Lizzo represent?
Anomaly.
Right. And guess what? What's the lady's name? The Michaels lady that does the workouts and shit? When she called Lizzo out.
Jillian.
Yeah.
Jillian.
She was like, hey, Lizzo, you need to lose some dance. She said everybody's cheering you on, but nobody's asking you about your cholesterol.
But she is exercising though. And she's eating right. You can't
The
say
devil
she's
is a
not.
liar.
Was she in Chick-fil-A
Hey,
dancing or
twerking
something?
is exercising
I
though.
mean, just because she's at
You gotta
Chick-fil-A
make
don't mean come on.
Sierra, I walk
Damn.
every day, but you don't see the evidence of that until the next 6 or 7 months.
No, she trying.
She is trying.
No, she's succeeding. She a big bitch and she got
and
everybody on day's
made a whole
attention
point.
and mad
You said,
respect. I
if
don't
you
know
were
what's
rich,
happening
you
with
got
her dick
we
life,
are
but
Because
talking about
a
regular
lot of
black
people
men.
got mad at her when she changed her appetite and when she started exercising. Just like y'all said with what's the white British chick name? I don't know her name. Adele. People got
Not Dale. Not
mad
Dale.
at
It was
us and still mad at her
I don't know why.
because she's exercising. She's losing weight.
Yeah, because the BCC said something. The Big Chick Coalition came out and said, we don't want her to be little. We want her to stay fat. We want Monique to stay fat. We want Jennifer Hudson to stay fat. The BCC has a problem with women losing weight.
And the point of that is that when you idolize that person,
but we're talking about regular black men, though. We ain't talking about celebrities. We talking about regular black men.
Regular black men will fuck a whole bunch of shadow chicks.
Regular black men got these women around here and they looking like the number 10. So
everybody.
And guess what? If they is with them, like Tony said had said something so profound about 8 weeks ago. Tony said, if you see a little dude with a big chick, he said, go ahead and check her job description because he may see a benefit in being with her and make the sacrifice of being seen with her. Come on now. Tony was preaching that day. I wish I could.
Oh, he got out the penitentiary.
You can't sit there and say every skinny man that's with a big woman reaping benefits.
It's not.
You cannot say that.
I think Tony
like thick women. He like a thick woman, so cut it out.
Oh man.
So, but okay, when you say thick, are we talking about thick or we talking about like morbidly obese?
There's a
difference. There's a difference.
And 2 big legs.
So like Kevin. So Kevin will be talking to a woman and the lady will be like, oh, I'm 5'5" and 200 pounds. And Kevin will act like this lady is just the biggest thing, like he's that lady. Oh, so you the size of a linebacker.
I think Kevin's just batting for the wrong team.
Ooh, why you bring him up, Megan?
Hold on.
You gotta disappear again.
Batting for the wrong team.
Yeah.
Dwayne gonna beat you up, man. Don't talk about his boy, man.
Kevin is batting for the wrong team.
What Kevin said, don't no man want a woman that's bigger than him. It's simple.
Wait a minute, but I heard big girls do it better. I heard this.
But see, that's going back towards sexually though, Lance.
Because my grandfather said, if you got to move anything out the way, it ain't worth having. If you don't
so your grandpa never smashed nothing big in his life. Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah, you don't want to be in there doing this here, lifting weights, trying to hold the guy. It's just too much. And I'm just being real.
Y'all acting like they just a bunch of Rasputians, though. Like that's not what he is.
Hey, big lady, I ain't dissing y'all, bro.
Look, Brian said,
I ain't on that shit. Hey.
Brian put out this public announcement.
I had a girl on my show, regular chick. She says, I know I'm a bad bitch. And I know this, and I know this, and I want me. I know I can get any man I want, and blah blah blah. I said, okay, where your boyfriend at? Where your husband at? She said, oh, you know. And then she got a picture. Oh, she sent me a picture, and the picture she wanted me to put on the show. And she said, no, don't use that one. I said, I'm using it anyway because you gave it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I put her picture on the show. Oh, she had a 2-piece on. I wish I could find that picture. I think
Is that the girl that you had that you did the show with?
Yeah, a 2-piece on, stomach looking like she looked like Homer Simpson with no clothes on. I say, motherfucker, you know, it's just, and she's saying, oh, I can get a man. I need a man to make a lot of money. And she's talking about, then I can get all the peanuts I want. But she had the nerve enough to tell me this. She said, I would never in my life. Now she linebacker size. She Ray Lewis. She told me, I would never date a fat guy. They are so disgusting. And on the show, I literally said, anybody that listens, Tony, Megan, they heard the show. I literally told her, get out the shower and look in the fucking mirror. Are you kidding me? You mean tell me you have a preference for a dude that you don't want no big man? You got the shower and you built like a stunt double on Ghostbusters?
So Dwayne, you won't date a big chick? Because let's flip this. Would you not date a big chick?
Let me tell you, I can't talk.
You starting? You starting?
I'm with you, big bro. I'll say this, my brother. You kind of talking, look, my brother. All I'm saying is, it kind of sounds like you're kind of being condescending. That's all I'm saying.
Kind
think about it.
You basically said fat chicks ain't nothing but
take that.
Like, what are you talking about? Kind of.
Right. So you wouldn't date a big chick, and you have told me this whole interview that you're a big guy. You wouldn't date a big chick.
If she bigger than me, hell no.
So ain't that so? Basically, you are her then. You should look at the mirror. I'm just being honest. You should look at the mirror.
I got options.
Let me say this.
Big girls got options. I mean,
it's 14 to 1.
Don't have no options.
14 to 1.
I just say this. Big girls do have options from the standpoint they don't want to be with the guys that want them. Let's be honest. We all have options. Let's throw this. We all have options.
I'm gonna ask my wife. Can I have? I'm gonna see if I can go back in time. I'm gonna see if I can find Dr. Strange and see if he can reverse time and put me single. Do you understand how big niggas slanging dick like goddamn?
Ask her now if she attracted.
But see, that's going back sexually. We talking about relationships.
Your wife. So what if your wife came to you and say, "Hey, baby, I don't find you attractive no more. Okay. You're big." How would you feel about that? I'm just asking that question.
Right. And I would say this because Tony know me, so you gotta know me outside the box. Tony know me. Tony, what word was I say? It start with an I. What would I say, Tony? Unmute, Tony. Unmute, Tony. Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
But you'll want that woman to change, Joe.
You're not gonna get a fuck.
That's what I said. I was kind of sounding like Lizzo then.
If she comes,
so you wouldn't change yourself for your wife.
Yeah, no, if it's a difference between.
No, you don't feel like it should be in your character.
You want your wife
to be fair. I mean, this is your wife. This is not just any random bitch.
But it sounds
if she said, "I want us to be healthy,"
that's all I'm saying. It sounds condescending.
And that's what I was saying earlier.
So Brian, back the fuck.
I was saying your woman gonna want to lay on the 6-pack.
No, she may want to lay on the pillow, motherfucker.
Come on, man.
Okay, then so you sitting up there. See, because you're sitting up there saying she may want to lay on the pillow, but she physically told you she was unhappy.
Okay, unhappy what?
And wanted you to lose weight.
And guess what? I know there's a lot of atheists.
If she sleep, go get her.
But we were never promised happiness.
Say that again.
Yep, I said we were never promised happiness.
Now we went happiness.
So now he got excuses for himself, though.
That's a whole different story.
I can't give you a pass.
I'm just stepping back.
Yeah, I can't either.
I can't give you a pass, bro. You literally just said that you did the same thing to a woman and said that she needs to clap.
Oh, everybody sees the double standard now.
And it's like
it's not a double standard because I can walk into a business room and close a deal, and I can take my wife in there, and if my wife is bigger than I am, she's going to draw more attention away from me than she would in the support.
So, you know what? I done seen a whole bunch. You know what? I done seen a whole bunch of these white people. White people are so supportive of their big girls, and I done seen a whole bunch of white girls charm the fuck out of a whole bunch of people.
Nigga, what
get in positions of power, get niggas to left and right. I'm sorry. Are there not fat white bitches right now getting black dudes in the hood?
Get over here. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. So y'all
got
fat white girls smashing black dudes.
Hello, man, you gotta stop that because there are black women who's dating white guys. Stop that.
I understand that, but I'm just saying. Y'all, he's acting like nobody wants to smash a porcupine. And that's not the case because some people love bacon. I mean, me personally, I like dating bigger dudes. Not like out, like you know, just like look like sloppy. But honestly, I find that they're more genuine. Fat people attitude, fat people mind frame. They tend to be more genuine, more caring, more considerate people. They don't feel themselves, and they will try to go out and fucking cheat. They automatically think that somebody doesn't want them, and I can make them feel better about themselves. I mean,
so you date low self-esteem people. with low
everybody's got their thing.
I ain't knocking.
I don't judge my wife. I live it. Just like I don't judge no hoe for having some extra weight, and I don't judge no nigga for having no extra weight. Or no white dude. Do what you do.
Hold on.
I ain't never seen no nigga come over and say he ain't gonna smash.
Hold on. Let me talk to artists. Let me talk to artists. Because artist said something a few minutes ago. I'm gonna address it. So artist say, what if you? Because it seems like he's on the women's side on this one. That's cool.
I'm just on the man's side.
No, he's not on the women's side. He's just asking.
On the women's side, I just as a man, I'm gonna stand on what it is. Come on, fam.
Well, okay,
it's condescending.
What I'm saying is, so you're saying that when it comes to a woman and a man, that is more important. Women think it's more important than a man. It has a six pack and he's built like T.O. rather than a man thinking that his woman should be built like Halle Berry. When you go out in public,
which Halle Berry?
I'd say this. I'm not dating no woman. I'd say this. I wouldn't really personally want to date a woman with a six pack. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm not gonna personally I'm just saying that's not my preference to date a woman with a six pack.
Okay, artist. I'm gonna ask you a question. So it seems like you like.
What's the next question?
Okay, you like summer sausage. So watch this. When you date a woman, would you date a woman right now? Look, let me say this. So artist, right now, artist. Let me ask you a question, artist. Would you date a woman right now, artist, if you met her and she was a friend at a restaurant or something, and she said she was 450 pounds, artist, you gonna date her? You gonna commit to her? You gonna have kids with her? Artist, come on.
I'm saying like this.
Be honest with yourself.
Hold on.
Stop it.
And I'm gonna go back to whoever brought up Tamala Man. She was a shadow chick, but when she got with David Mann, he helped her lose weight. So if that's something you want to do personally and say, hey, baby, your weight is kind of an issue, at least talk to her. Just don't shame her about it. Because you kind of coming off, all I'm saying is, brother, you kind of coming off as shaming women for something they may not know. What if they just don't know how to work out?
Dude,
what if they try, but they have
always shaming when somebody telling the truth. It's always called shaming.
Telling the truth is cool. Telling the truth is too, but it's one thing, and this is what I will agree with Lance. A lot of times, us as men, and I say this, we'll just shame women, but don't try to say, hey, I'm gonna pick you up out the mud. I'm gonna teach you how to get out of the mud.
Let's you just say, I'm sorry, I'm shallow. Just acknowledge what you are.
I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that.
But it's the truth. And a bitch will smash if she knows you'll tell the truth. She can know that you're not even super attracted to her.
Okay,
but
so
that honesty, that directness.
Everything is considered a shame, right? If you don't like a fat girl, you're fat shaming. And right now, like we talked about last week on the show, right now, they're saying right now, if a man, a heterosexual man, would not consider dating a trans person that's already transitioned to a woman, you're transphobic because you're not considering dating a trans woman. So I'm gonna ask you this, artist.
That's stupid.
No. Say that again. I got confused. Say that again.
So they're saying if you talk about a fat girl, you're fat shaming. If you talk about a woman that slept with a whole bunch of men, you're slut shaming. If now they're saying transphobic community, the LGBTQI plus community is saying if a transphobic woman, a trans woman has become a woman and no longer a man, and a heterosexual man does not consider her in his dating, he's considered transphobic shaming. He's gay shaming because he doesn't want to date her. It's the same fucking thing.
Hold on. You're getting out of content. What my issue you brought up was about you would tell a woman hell or whatever it is because she's that way, but I'm like, well, ain't you the same thing? It's like a trans saying he hate a trans, but bro, you trans too. All I'm saying is you have stood up here and said the whole night that you're a big guy. I haven't met you. I've never seen you from a can of paint. So what I'm saying is if a trans guy say he doesn't like a trans guy, then I'm like, well, nigga, you trans too. All I'm saying is if you're a big guy, you can't shame another big girl. Then you get mad.
Okay, let me explain something to you. If I'm a big guy, what the fuck do I look like sewing two parachutes together? If I'm a big guy, I'm not looking for another fucking parachute. I'm looking for the string to pull to get down.
You're not saying that she would be attractive if she dressed up. You're saying she's not attractive enough to dress like that. That's the difference. You're not saying that she's being unattractive in what she wears. You're saying she's unattractive.
You know why we'll tell our sons, you know why we'll tell our sons not to date women with kids if they ain't got kids? Because they can give what they're asking for. All I'm saying is, can you give, answer this question, can you give what you're asking for. That's all I'm asking. If you can say, just answer that one question.
Absolutely.
Can you give what you're asking for?
Absolutely. That's not fucking hard. That's not fucking hard to do.
So I don't look at it. I don't think that Dwayne is fat shaming. I think we just simply stating the obvious. And when it comes like we said at the beginning, men are visual. Men are visual, women are emotional. When you see a woman, I have to put emphasis on this. When you first see a woman, if you see a big woman and if you see a brick house shaped woman, you're not going to look at that big woman, and unless that's your specific preference, which I mean, some men do have, some men like big women or whatever, but I would have to say majority of men, if you saw two women, a big one and a brick house shaped woman, you're going to go to that brick house shaped woman before you go to that big one, unless your self-esteem just so low that you feel like that the only one that you could get is the big one.
That's all I've been saying, artist.
But so I don't think that he's fat shaming anything like that or whatever, but I'm just saying, but he's just saying that like men are visual.
But men also have self-esteem issues, and they do get with fat people because they have self-esteem issues.
Artist, when's the last time you went?
There's somebody for everybody. It's not, and they look
artist, when's the last time you went to the mall?
About 2 weeks ago.
You single?
Yes.
When you walked in the mall, you seen a lot of fine bitches?
Oh, of course, it's the mall.
Tell me one fat one you saw that was attractive.
Hold on, I seen a thickest bitch. Excuse my language, I ain't calling her, but I seen a thick one. So I'm sorry, bro. I would look.
But when you say thick,
I'm not talking thick. I'm not talking thick.
Because what I'm saying is, I understand. Well, describe them. Are you talking about thick with a stomach, no ass, built like a penguin? Or are we talking about?
I'm talking about what's the girl on the reel? What's her name?
What's the girl name? Countess Vaughn, the one that played Kim Parker. Or you got to come on, put it in content. What type of chick are we talking about here?
We're talking about the chick. We're talking about
Precious.
Because Pinky, Pinky from porn, niggas would hit that.
Precious.
But the fact that you would call her ugly just because she's fat,
I didn't say she was ugly. I never said that.
You just implied it heavily.
I didn't say she don't. You put words in my mouth. I said if you saw Precious in the mall, you seen a lot of fine bitches in the mall. You just said that. Art, I'm repeating
I can hear you. Let me go get my Uber Eats from the thing. I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he'll go to the mall.
It's gonna be a big girl at the door.
He'll go to the mall. He said he's seen a whole bunch of fine bitches. Right? But now one time did he say he's seen a Precious that he wanted to bring home with him?
I mean, that's not the societal standard that we grew up in. If they actually allowed us to be whatever size that we wanted to be and be okay with it, then they wouldn't be able to sell us diet pills. They wouldn't be able to sell us expensive ass clothes and jewelry and the look and the glamour, like all the shit that people spend their money on that keep them broke. Yeah, I mean, of course they're not gonna let us believe that we're beautiful. They're still trying to cut black teenagers' dreads off. But that's not okay. Like that's beautiful. Finally. But at some point we have to you didn't say that's what I'm saying. You didn't say that she wasn't beautiful because of what she's wearing is making her look a certain way. You just said she's too big to be wearing it. And it's just like, okay, what would she be if she was fully clothed? Just a fat bitch?
Well, she said she wants to get married and have kids. Let's see how.
No. I'm asking you. What would she be if she was fully clothed?
She would be decent.
But I think because once again, that's all, like he was saying with Lizzo with the two pieces and stuff like that. Basically, what Dwayne has been trying to say, and I'm not, and like I disagree with some of the stuff you say, but I agree with some of the things he say. But what he's saying is that you should wear something that's like mannerable or respectable for your size.
Appropriate.
I can agree with you on that.
But he's also talking about a relationship though. Like he said, a relationship.
Yeah, he said a relationship though.
He didn't say before I meet her. So
no, artist. No, artist. Artist, you asked me that question, artist. You asked me that question. You say,
no, but you also asked me a question. If I go into a restaurant and the chick is, you asked if I go in there and she's big, I'm not in a relationship with her. Now, if I get in a relationship, then clearly it didn't matter before I hopped in a relationship. Like clearly that didn't matter. You did ask that question earlier.
Artists, I said, you said, was it a relationship or not? I say in a relationship it's understandable because you have women that have your children, you have women that have health issues, that may have health issues. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that when you, like you said, what if you had you right? But me, I'm not. I'm never going to go out in public looking like shit. I'm never going to go out with my fucking stuff. Well, I'm not going to wear a 2X
So if she put the
t-shirt.
right clothes on, does it change the dynamic?
No, what I'm saying is I'm never going to go outside in a medium shirt and I wear a 2X. I'm not going to put myself out there like that. And so what I'm saying, I'm not saying big women, they don't need to exist. Get rid of those bitches. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you're going to be a big woman, then dress the way that you should dress. You should not be in medium clothes and you in the 3X suit.
I agree with you.
I
agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I mean, he's right. This is our society.
Lizzo went to a party in a see-through dress with all of that shit.
Actually, I thought that was one of the best things that she wore. I thought she looked really nice for a Cardi B party. Come on.
No. Jedi,
go ahead.
Cardi
B party.
Go ahead. I'm going to let Jedi say Jedi,
I got to see this dress. This is my second time hearing about this dress.
K-Soul, you got something? K-Soul, you got something?
I mean, what's the standard of the Cardi B mansion party? Do we know? Did Cardi B have on clothes?
Lance, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a hypothetical question. One of y'all get married. Say, for instance, Jedi Mike, you get married. And you say, hey, Dwayne, I want you to come to my wedding, bro. I said, I'm good. He said, you can wear what you want to wear. Just come in, do your thing. I said, man, I got a designer, baby. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be the one. I'm going to turn up in that bitch. So when I come through the door and they say, and you hear everybody in the audience saying, and I come through the fucking door and I got on a see-through fucking tuxedo with no drawers, no undershirt, nothing. I'm just walking that motherfucker and I'm
kick him out. Kick him out.
I love
kick him out. Kick him out.
I love my body. I'm embracing my body. I'm walking in that motherfucker looking like Rick Ross with hemorrhoids. I'm just walking in that motherfucker like this here. You're gonna kick me out of your fucking wedding. You're not going to
not before standing back and making tons of jokes about you for about an hour and a half.
But when we do it to Lizzo, she's got a designer. She's so sweet. Look at her.
No, and I have to agree. And I love me some Lizzo, and I like that she's so confident. But she does go a little too far sometimes, like to the basketball game. When she wore that outfit,
that was bad.
She turned around and had her whole ass out. That it was too much. But I would have felt that same way if Beyonce would have done that. It was too much.
Right.
It was too much.
And you know what? I seen what's the fine ass girl named Beyonce's protege?
Kelly Rowland?
Chloe Bailey.
Chloe.
Chloe Bailey.
Yeah. Just did a song. Let me tell you how I'm not biased. Chloe just did a goddamn lift every voice and sing or something.
So big.
Yeah, she did a song.
That's the jam.
Old black song. And she was suited up, ass cheeks. I say, what the
I'm all out and mess. I was
That's
and listen, shout out to those girls though. Like
I know.
Because honestly, listen, I want to tell you this. On that note, with those two girls, like I one thing, just I don't know, just with us as Black people, I do believe in us as holding our ethnic image, but I don't want it to see that all Black women just gotta be like Nicki and Cardi, whatever, like have their ass out hanging out and having their tongue out and stuff for them to get a Grammy. But yeah, you have these two girls, these sisters, working their ass off for what happened last year, and now we have Meg Thee Stallion just get a Grammy out of nowhere for that
no, we're not Meg haters over here. No, we don't talk about Meg around this part.
No, man, the point I'm making, ma'am, I'm just saying
they won a Grammy too for Best New Artist when they first came out. They won Best New Artist.
They were nominated. No,
I mean, they doing good, but it's like it don't matter.
I'm like she had to resort to that.
Exactly.
But I mean, they're growing up too, though, so she might want to make that.
I understand that, but it's just
they
like
talked about Britney when she did it. I mean.
So, but at the end of the day, man, we're gonna shut this thing. I'm just gonna say this, and then we're gonna be out. This is my thing. If all I'm saying, artists, is this, like you said, but what if she or you? I'm going to be decent when I step out the door. I'm never going to embarrass my woman ever. If she was skinny and I'm a big dude, I'm not going to go around my girl's friends in a see-through tuxedo on my stomach. I wear a medium shirt and I wear a 2X shirt. I'm never going to embarrass her like that. What's happening is these big women are getting the big head, and they have women in their corner saying, "Girl, you killing it. You slaying these hoes tonight. You are slaying them."
You don't think being fat is embarrassing for a man?
But can I respond to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
The question was not about how they dress on their size. The question was their size and is the reason. The whole question was about their weight, not how they dress and the shape. That's all I'm asking. Like, if it's about the weight, can you get really, like, all I'm saying is kind of condescending of you. Yeah, you said you wouldn't go out wearing The Rock t-shirt or looking like Jean-Claude Van Damme. But the issue is the weight. That's all I'm saying is, can you offer the same thing you're asking for? That's all I'm asking. Not about the clothing.
Right.
Not about the clothing. I'm talking about the actual physical weight. That's all I'm asking.
And my thing, yes, I can. But
can you acknowledge that your fat may look bad to somebody else?
Yes. Hold on. Watch this. Yes. So let me flip the question to you, and then we'll run out the door. My question would be this: is it more important to a woman to have a skinny man than it is a man to have a fit woman? Because if we look at the three things that we talk about in the manosphere all the time, Jedi has been on all these shows. He's seen it for himself. K Solon been in there. These men, there are several thousands of men that are saying the same thing, bro, and I can send you evidence of it. Men are saying they want three things from a woman. They want her to be submissive, cooperative, and fit. That's it. And thousands of men are saying the same thing I'm saying right now. They want their woman to be, let me say it again. They want them to be cooperative, submissive, and fit.
A lot of them men ain't offering a woman to do all that. A lot of these niggas ain't got game like
that. But hey, can I have my answer to this? Though. But hey, here's my answer. Hey, guys, what is y'all three things out of? Let's just go ahead and kill the water. Guys, what are y'all three things y'all want out of a woman? And if they all say the same thing, then I'll say, man, I was in the wrong. What come on, starting with Brian. We go ahead.
What I need from a woman?
Your three things.
She need to listen to me, fuck me good, and give me some money.
Okay, I didn't hear fit. Go ahead, Tony. Now, hey, Miss.
What was that third one?
Oh yeah, what's that third one?
Money.
Yeah, give me some money. My mama always told me a woman will like you if she give you her money.
Oh wow!
Hell no.
Okay, so Tony, what is yours?
Man, mine got to be submissive, a freak, and shit, and thick.
Okay, but not fit. Hey, Jedi, what's yours?
No, hold on. You didn't say. No, hold on. Fit can be fit too, because Serena thick. Let's not do that. Don't try to move the goalpost.
Okay, but no. Okay, cool.
Tony, are you talking about thick?
Okay, cool.
Look, so let me say this: my woman don't have to have no six pack. She don't have to be no track star. She ain't got to be none of that stuff, you know.
What's the role limit? What is their role limit?
You know the beautiful thing is, Tony got his evidence on here with him. That's his wife right there. Does that look anything like 300?
And we saw the two piece, baby.
Hold on. Now you showing too much.
Baby, it's all my glory. It's all of it.
Okay, so what about Jedi? Let's ask Jedi.
So I'll say submissiveness. I'll say God-fearing, but even that kind of goes that to, and also say feminine as well. But to me, that's a basic criteria in terms of being fit. I mean, that's just I'm attracted to you. That means that you're fit because I was attracted to you.
Okay, so that's two of the guys. Come on, K-So.
That's three because Megan.
Brian didn't say them. No. We're taking ourselves out of it. so Brian, Jedi and Tony. K-So.
So I would echo what Jedi said, but I would even roll it up all into one thing, because I think one thing that Jedi said that was super important at the beginning of this conversation was the important thing is being the best version of yourself. And if I just want a woman who's the best version of herself, it includes all those things, including being fit.
Absolutely. There you go. Perfect. Well said.
Three. What? How many you got now, partner?
I got one. That's Brian. I didn't say all guys though. Brian never say. I said all guys. Did not say if all guys say the same thing, I would concede the point. Brian did. So it's all different for different males. One thing I did hear, we all want submissive. One thing that we all agreed to was submissive. That's universal. That was universal. That last part is kind of fuzzy. I'm just saying because Tony said thick. But he didn't say fit. He said he don't care if his woman have a six pack. So he's kind of toting the line a little bit.
Megan model. Look at his wife. She fit.
I ain't gonna look at another man's wife like that.
Hell no. I ain't gonna look at another man's wife.
I got what Tony was coming from. I got what Tony from and said you're showing too much because I'm just saying I ain't gonna look at another man's wife like that.
But to Tony's point though, like he said, I don't have to be. I had a baby. I got a 5-month-old. I'm like right now 55 pounds, like 55, 60 pounds over my normal weight. and Tony's still chasing me around the damn house. So that's my goalpost. If my husband is still have that same attraction and stuff for me, that's my personal. So I'm not so concerned about, oh, I need to get back to this weight, or I need to be this or that. It's about, what my husband is happy with.
I do want to say the women was keeping up steady though. Men were working and they were staying home. So I mean, like, yeah, they went to work out every day.
Hold on, say it again.
No, I said this because I love my wife.
I hear like a lot of old timey kind of like characteristics that are kind of mixing with like a modern kind of like I bring my bad bitch into the business room, but she's gotta be bad. But like back then, like women, like that's all they had to focus on. Not all, but I'm saying like, kids, keep the house together, keep yourself together. You're the representation of our family. And that was really, really important.
That's true.
Oh, is that not true?
Let me clear up with artists.
Well, it's not true. Are you not talking to me? My bad.
Artists, I'm gonna clear up with artists. So artists, what I'm saying is this: if I can give some clarity, because I want to make sure I'm clear. When I say, because the women in my family, I'm not gonna say that because I'm gonna hear it tomorrow. But so I don't care if the women in my if women are big. That's let me fix it. If you're big, you big. That's what you choose. That's your choice. Men have a preference. And a man prefers to be with someone else that's not big and he chooses not to be with you, you cannot say he's bashing women based on his preference. Second, the way you dress, let me clear that up. It's an important thing. You can be a big woman and dress and look good in what you do because you fit in yourself in what fits you. But if you going out with your man and your man, I went to Cheddar's when it was last week to pick up something for my wife and to eat. And I'm in there and the dude standing like this here, and you can tell he was so embarrassed, right? She's sitting over there, pink hair down. I should have took a picture. Pink hair down to here, right? Her stomach way out here, shirt way up here, right? And he's sitting like this, like he don't even know her, like but guess what? He probably fears if I tell her, she gonna cuss me out in public or she gonna get on my ass. So I'd just rather just sit here and don't say nothing. And a lot of men do that. A lot of men let their wives leave the house, and other men looking like, why did that nigga let his wife?
But my brother, the question was, what should weight matter? Not what you wear on top of the weight. That was my whole point.
I felt like I got somebody that's.
It say you're
Whoa! I'll push this whole fucking butter out. Y'all make me so sick.
Should weight matter to a man in a relationship? All I'm saying is, can you offer the same thing if that woman asks? Not what you wear, not what I take to Taco Bell or Chipotle's, or none of those things. Pink hair, no hair, none of that. What I'm saying is, the question was about weight, not how you dress, because you're circling around how they dress. No man yet has said anything about how a woman dress. Now, every man has their own preference on how a woman should dress and what kind of woman, but the question is not about how they dress. You should have questioned the question, how a woman dress matter to a man? That's what the question should be.
So hold on. So as you said, I'm running around it, so let me run into it. So should weight matter to a man? If it's his preference not to have a big woman, yes, it should matter to a man. But
weight matters to a boy.
But if a man wants to be with a big woman, that is his preference. Cool. And that's what he wants to do. However, then I'm gonna run into the other thing you said. Yes, are you willing to give what you're asking for? Absolutely. So if I'm with a female and she say, you know what, babe, and we in love with each other, and she say, you know what, I think you should lose some weight. I think you should.
You didn't say that at first.
No, hold on, Brian.
You said big guys can slay dick. That's what you basically said. Hold on. My ears may be fucked up.
Mine too, bro.
Hold on, let him finish.
What did I say? Say what I said again.
You literally said that, bro. You literally said that.
You said, Tony, you know me. Start it.
I don't know. I said I don't give a fuck. If she came,
don't give a fuck.
No. You gave me what you said. You said if she come to you and she say you big and you just if she come to me in that tone, absolutely, I'm gonna say I don't give a fuck.
Tony,
well, you ain't got no reason because you said the reason that women have is having babies.
You gave an example. You gave an example of another show you did on how a chick, and you said that Miss Tony over there, Barbara, basically another chick got on the inbox and was on some, she ain't gonna date no fat guy or something like that. And you was like, well, you should go around and do it. And you were like, holy hell. All I'm asking was, if you're gonna use that example, I'm just saying, if this roles were reversed, how would you feel?
How would I feel? What? You didn't get a straight question.
Well, the question is, like, how would you feel if that was you asking that same question, or the chick say, I ain't gonna date you because you fat, even though I'm fat?
I want to know why you fat now.
Hold on. If I'm not married,
I'm not gonna do that
in a
to you,
relationship.
You ain't had no baby. You ain't had no stretch mark. You ain't had no kind of medical nothing. Why are you fat now?
I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna do that to you. I'm just asking
you saying if I'm in a relationship or am I dating? Am I first dating her?
Well, the example you gave, it was not even if she was not in a relationship. You just gave an example of a woman that's not in a relationship.
If a woman come to me, if Sierra came to me and said, you know what, I don't want to date you because you're a big dude, I gotta respect that because I made a choice.
Right before relationship or in the relationship?
But before, you just said before.
So, but the question is all about this. I think maybe I'm probably getting confused now too.
You are getting confused.
I'm making confused. But the question is,
if you're married, if you're married or in a relationship, the weight shouldn't matter because she's having your children. She may have a health condition. She may have gotten big over time. You can respect that because a woman having a baby is a very strenuous thing. Right, so her body goes through a huge transformation. So that's understood. I'm not gonna be an asshole and say, "Oh, she got big. She had 5 kids. She big as fuck." Yes,
she don't have no kids and she got big in a relationship.
No. Babe, she had babies and all this. What I'm saying is, on the flip side of that, you have some women. Somebody mentioned this earlier. You have some women that say, "You know what? It doesn't matter. You gonna have to accept me for who I am. I don't care if I'm unhealthy. I don't care about this. If you go tell a woman, that's the worst thing you could ever do is say, "Hey, baby, lose weight."
But don't you got a choice though?
Don't
you got a choice though? Like why? Like if that's a problem, just leave the bitch, man. You got a choice. Don't stay. Like just leave. Like it's like men can't just move, man. Just move around.
I know what Joe's saying though. He's saying like women, like when they were able to self-assess that. Right. Like, you know, when they got to a certain point, it was like, okay, I'm gonna throw my movement now. But that's just not what it is anymore, Joe.
About, ooh, I'm fine. I'm like,
you know what I wish though? I wish people like Brian. I'm gonna see if I can make this happen. It's gonna be hard. But I wish that I could have Brian and Artist and Lance and K-Soul. Well, Jedi Mike K-Soul already know a lot about it. I wish I can have you guys, and I'm going to see if I can do it on my platform and have these men come in that are saying these things where they can better explain to you how they feel about it. And these are regular 9-to-5 guys that are probably making really good money. They're not rich.
Man, I don't need to hear from no nigga, man. I don't need to hear from no nigga.
What I'm saying to you is I'm trying to help you understand a lot of these guys are
they having but if they having issues in their relationship, I agree with Brian. Get the hell up out of it.
No,
it's like I don't cry over women though, bro. Like you bringing them men. They got women problems, man. They look at women different from what I do.
Because she was skinny, then we end up dating and she got fat. Now take away kids. Take my whole analogy.
Yeah.
So literally, I met chick. Chick was 150, boxer's weight, lightweight. 2 years later, she cracking 200. 2 years after that, she cracking 250. 300, she trying out for the Cowboys. Are you saying that's when I should ask this question, or is it before?
No. Well, if you're in a committed relationship with her and you guys have a huge y'all on a whole nother level when it comes to communication, you're able to as her man to say, hey babe, listen, I think that you're getting up pretty up there in the weight or whatever, and so I think that in order for you to be healthy, I think that me and you should go walking. I mean, you should work out. What I'm saying now, that's what if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, an artist, you drove up to a restaurant in your car. And you pulled up and they got your car and drove it off and you walked in on a blind date. Jedi set you up on a blind date. You walk into the restaurant and she tells you I got on a red dress. And you walk through the door and you're looking for the woman in the red dress and you look over there and you see Rasputia. Are you sitting down having dinner or are you going back to your fucking car?
Hold on.
It depends
on. We talked on the phone. If we talked on the phone and she says she over here basically trying to pull what's the girl name from Friday? Andell, she died in real life. If she pulled to that, yeah, because you just lied about who you are. I can't trust that because you lying. But if I knew going into the thing, she said, hey, I'm a big girl and I still, that's on me.
No, I didn't say she lied. I didn't say she lied. I said if
a blind date.
You have never talked to her before. Blind date. Jedi say, man, I got this girl, bro. She cool. I'm gonna set you up. She gonna be in the restaurant.
Her name's Shirley.
Yeah, her name's Shirley.
Big Shirley. Big Shirley. That's cool.
Big Shirley.
Yeah. And Jedi says, hey, dude, she in a red dress. You walk in and you look and you see Rasputia sitting at the table like this. I'm waiting on artists.
Are
you going to sit down and eat, or are you going to leave?
Well, Brian wants some money, so if she got some money,
you don't never know.
If I'm not rocking with her, of course I'm not gonna have to deal with it. But I'm not gonna get a relationship and just be like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna leave you."
But dude, we agree on that. Dude, we agree on that part. I'm talking about if you were dating and you were in the dating scene and you were out
But if
dating,
it's
you would not date these women.
If I go in there and she's not what I like, if I go in there and she's not what I like, then hey, you're not what I like. But I'm not shaming her and say, damn, bitch, you don't need to be inside a restaurant. You should have met me at a Fitness Nation. Like I'm not going in there.
Hold on. Are you going to at least go over and say something to her? Or are you just
I want to talk to her? I'm human.
Yeah, why not?
God, look, I'm sorry. I know how to talk to women. I can
Me too, dog. Most of these niggas can't
lady,
talk to a bitch.
I'm from the South.
That's
Miss
the
lady,
problem.
shawty,
They don't understand being friends with a woman.
Look, I'm going
They don't
to
understand being friends with a woman also.
How's it going?
Brian,
Now, can I say on a general level in a marriage, talking about weight, I do feel like you have a right to ask your partner to lose weight. Absolutely. Right. If not, but not for vanity reasons. You should find people beautiful. I mean, but if that is the case, I mean, you can't help it that you're vain, or you can't help it that you have a mindset that's shallow. I personally have one time asked my ex-fiance to lose weight because I noticed his attitude started to change. He became more like sluggish, slothier, lazier, and it was not like conducive to like a good environment for us because he was all depressed and shit.
Can I ask a question?
I don't.
Why is it always a negative thing to not be attracted to something that you're not attracted to?
Come on, dog. You preaching.
No, it's not a negative thing to not be attracted. It's a negative thing to make somebody else or try to convince others that something is unattractive because you find it unattractive.
But
if you're in a relationship, though, it is.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you're in a relationship, you do have every right. Like I said, you do have a right. I feel like it's kind of shallow.
The only reason I ask the question is because anytime somebody brings it up, it's always, why is this person shallow? Why are you, of the mind that someone is less than or anything like that? And
exactly,
I don't think that's what it is.
Because you got to expect a fluctuation in something. I mean, like, what the hell does commitment mean? Why even date? If something changes, you're gonna fucking leave. What if it's a mental issue? Oh, didn't sign up for that. What the fuck?
But nobody's talking about leaving.
Talking about that.
Talking about addressing the issue.
I said that is okay, but that does mean that you gotta have like a vain or shallow like approach. I'm shallow about myself. I'm vain. I want to stay skinny all the time. Right. But the people that I fuck with, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. You be skinny, you can be big.
That's like Brian. Brian saying, I ain't fucking with no white girl. That motherfucker got devil blood running through her.
Now, what I don't want is someone who's fat and they act like they're fucking fat. They're just like walking around the house, eating fucking food, being lazy, not want to do anything. They got a bad fucking attitude. They are very, very self-conscious to the fact that it stops them from being successful.
Wait, you just contradicted yourself there.
No. There are lots of people that are fat and fucking happy and they on their shit. They have a job. They feel great about themselves. This, that, and the other. There are lots of people that feel that way. But there are some people that, everybody has a normal sense of low self-esteem. Let's not try to act like we don't all question.
No. I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about you. What you just said there. You just said, you just said that, I have preference. I don't want someone who's fat who act like they're fat. And then shout all stuff and
I don't know
and stuff like that.
There is a bad
you went on us and K-Soul about people might have a mental issue. He might be going through man compression, whatever. And are you going to stay with that man? You just
I would hope that I found something else in them that would make me want to be with them besides how they look. I mean, do we not get in a relationship with people for more than just what they look like?
They don't know what Les be talking about sometimes. He be losing.
Look, y'all be trying to
I'm trying to recalibrate you. And yes,
recalibrate me to what?
Recalibrate me. I'm aligning you back to the conversation.
I don't think it's wrong
you back to common sense because right now when you're talking, you're derailing the conversation to a point where we're confused, to a point we can't now understand what you're saying.
I think it's okay to ask anything from your partner. I feel like if you're in a relationship, you should be able to actually ask anything. Now, whether it's insensitive or not, or whether they take it some type of way, you should have a different level. It's not like everybody's going to be in that conversation like we're talking. Okay. Obviously, if you're in a relationship with them, you found some other values and characteristics and self-worth besides just their weight. But if the weight is affecting those other characteristics, like in my case, whereas we used to actually be active And then like we go on vacation to LA for a week and a half, and I don't enjoy my whole birthday week because you don't want to walk like 3 blocks down. And it was your idea. But you're now upset at me because I'm leaving you at the hotel on my birthday. And I'm not making you feel bad for being fat. You just are fat.
Hey,
you feel bad about it.
Like, I want to follow into what you said, but I'm kind of confused.
Am I the only one that's like
you're kind of going in and out, and I don't want to be like
so, like
what's confusing?
You've been confusing all night, bro. You've been talking.
You haven't been confused all night. I just need to.
What's wrong, bro?
How have I been confusing all night? And they've literally been saying everybody's been saying everything I've been saying tonight.
We don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what to tell you. I'm shooting it straight.
The premise is not.
I'm shooting it straight up.
I'm a very effective listener. I listen to exactly the words that are coming out of your mouth, and I'm telling you that what you're saying I won't say it's kind of filibustering because you end up basically you stay in your argument, but then you basically just discredit it. As soon as you keep talking, for example,
what am I discrediting?
That, okay, I can ask my partner anything, but then yet saying that. Oh, let's say talk about their weight, but and there's other characteristics, but if that weight is affecting those characteristics, then okay, then I have the right to feel the certain way I do. But then you just went on us saying, well, you're shallow for us even asking them in the first place. So
I do
how
think
that, but yet you never asked us about what other characteristics.
Weight just for the sake of looking good. No, yeah, I do. I mean, I wouldn't ask nobody to do that. I've always dated big dudes.
Are you guys following me? Are you guys following me? I'm just making.
I follow what you're saying, Lance. I just need to kind of understand because it's like I don't know. It's kind of like you dance around. I can't really explain what you're doing.
Nigga don't know what
because
I'm
not trying to be rude or nothing about it. I'm just like I don't understand where you're going with the conversation. Like that's all. Like
y'all are saying that he shouldn't ask about it. I think personally, I would never ask somebody to lose weight just because I thought they were unattractive. I don't see attractiveness like that. Almost every dude I've ever dated has been big. Now, when it comes to me, I have a vanity about myself and how I want to appear to others. But I fully recognize that is a self-worth issue in myself.
Thank you, Gloria. Because we don't know.
Do you not what do y'all not understand?
Look at Gloria. We don't know
what is that? Is it hard to understand that someone could have an understanding of a flaw inside of themselves and not apply it to someone else in a relationship? Do y'all not do that? Do y'all just take everything you have and project it onto another person?
So let me get this clear. You'll date big guys. You don't feel like it's right to tell someone for vanity purposes for vanity purpose, they shouldn't tell them to lose weight, but then you understand why they do it? Like, I'm confused. Are you saying you do agree? Or
no, I'm just saying they should be able to come to their partner about anything.
That's a simple question. Do you agree with it or you don't agree with it?
I agree you should be able to come to your partner about anything, no matter how hard it is. No matter how hard it is. I do feel like
there you go, Lance.
No more. Yeah, that's it. Period. Point blank.
Do you like? I don't understand. Do y'all not get the level? Do y'all not get the level?
Answer the question.
Yeah.
I did. I said that earlier. The first thing I said was, I think somebody should be. Yes, you should absolutely. And we talking about a marriage. He was talking about a marriage. Like, yeah, in a marriage, you should definitely have that kind of.
We got you.
What's the whistle at?
So, artist, let me ask you a question.
Hey, man, I'm on. What's up?
I'm confused.
When you hear Brian say, when you hear Brian say he don't want to ever fuck with a white girl because they got blood, they got devil's blood running through their veins. Do you feel the same way about how we're feeling about the weight situation? Do you feel like he's bashing white women?
If he gets in a relationship with a white woman, then tells her that he doesn't date relationship, that makes no sense. My whole argument was, if it's in a relationship, you hop in a relationship with this white woman and then say, man, I don't fuck with white women. I ain't never dated a white woman. Well, that's the kind of condescending and contradictory. Right. That's all I'm saying.
But you still going back to the relationship thing. I said dating. If you're in a relationship, you have to accept no white person.
I don't date no white woman. Would you? Okay, the bigger question.
We started it with marriage.
Would you date?
That was the relationship we were talking about
today, y'all. I'm sorry using the B word.
Marriage, dating, a blind date. It's levels. Yes, there's different levels. Like there's different shit you would say on different levels.
All I'm saying is, if you hop in a relationship, then find an issue and say, "Well, I wouldn't date a fat chick." I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. So why hop in a
talking
relationship
that
if that's not what you wanted?
No. I'm telling you. So this is the ear to
Yes,
the
sir.
this is the ear to the street type of conversation. So basically,
Yeah, okay.
I'm not talking from a general
I gotta
standpoint.
keep K-Soul away from my old lady.
Right?
K-Soul like he write good
Because these
poems,
different
man.
platforms that I be
Nah,
on
man.
talking with different people, these are the conversations that they're
K-Soul,
having. Right? And so
Yeah.
they're saying if you're dating someone and
K-Soul,
you're in the dating
smooth
scene,
ass nigga.
are you
Yeah.
okay with these big women getting mad at you for not looking their way? Right? So let me give you an example.
Yeah, I'm listening, my brother.
Ayanla had a show, she off TV because they done ran off. But Ayanla had a show and she put all these women in the backyard. I don't know if y'all saw it or not. She put all different shapes, sizes, ethnicities, whatever, in the backyard of her house. And she had 30 women, 10 men, right? 10 black men. And she released them into the yard and she said, go and mingle, and y'all all single, go mingle and see what y'all like. Right? The black men went into the backyard. They started mingling. She was watching on the camera from the house. All of a sudden, they were talking to the black women. They was talking in groups. They was talking in groups. Then all of a sudden, the men start gravitating. Right? They gravitated to the women that were smaller women. The women that were bigger women started to get upset and started to leave because they would not talk to them. And these are 9-to-5 guys, musicians and shit. They're not famous at all. But what they're saying is that they're not saying we bashing women. We just have a preference of what we like. Like Brian, he has a preference. Everybody has a preference, right? I'm talking about if I'm in a relationship and she gets big, okay, baby, let's work through this. But if I'm dating, that's not my preference. But the general man is saying right now, listen to all these different guys on these platforms, they're saying, hey, listen, these women need to lose weight if they want to be with a man, these successful men that are making good money and that have that nice houses and nice careers. They want to be with us. All we're asking in return is that we have a woman that's fit, that's going to live for a long time. She's healthy. She doesn't have all these health issues. I don't want to have to deal with all of that weight she's coming in. Overweight. They don't want to deal with overweight women. They don't want to share their successes with an unhealthy woman.
So in that experiment, I gotta ask this question because there's always caveat. What type of dude? You said 9-to-5 dudes. Was these black guys? Was these rich guys? Was these poor guys?
No.
Because depending what you put in the experiment is gonna tell me more than anything. That's all I got. So what kind of just don't tell me they're 9-to-5. What kind of dudes are these?
One of the guys was a professor at a college. One of the guys was a professional musician, like not a rich one, but he's like a professional musician. One guy owned his own cleaners. One guy owned he was another entrepreneur, owned his own business or something. So these were not famous guys at all. They're not millionaires. I mean, they probably thousands.
How did they look? They look like pretty decent looking.
Yeah,
they look like they can pull chicks. If the chicks were not put in the backyard.
Hold on. Out of the 10 men, it was 10 black guys. Out of those 10 black guys, they probably had somebody your size, artist, Brian size, Tony size, my size, K-Soul size, Jedi. They mixed them all up, right? So they had different shapes, sizes, but they all were black men because the black men kept complaining that the women don't take care of them. Black women don't take care of themselves. Black women have attitude issues. And all this. So she did an experiment to see what they gravitate to if she put them in a.
So she got a group of men that have women problems.
He got a group of men with a bunch of women that they ain't gonna get on a normal day.
Fact.
That's what it is. Because
that's the problem right there.
All I gotta ask this question: can these dudes pull these women at the grocery store?
Yeah,
that's all I gotta ask.
Hold on. These girls that were in the backyard, they weren't models. They were like everyday looking chicks. They wasn't like no. They wasn't no
1 to 10. The top chick that you say what the
7,
top chick,
7.
So the top girl. So the top girl that was there was a 7 or 8.
About a 7 or 8.
I mean,
she matched them up greatly. She matched them up real good. She didn't have no fine, no size 0 girls. She had them all shapes, sizes, colors, ethnicities: Mexican, black, white.
Were any of them Republican? That's what I want to know before I get in a relationship with you.
Republican has to do with it.
Personal preference, shit that matters to me. I mean, like shit that matters to me. I'm just saying, like people gonna get big, they gonna get small. It's gonna happen. It's a body. It changes.
What does a person's political choice has to do with?
I'm just saying that's the shit that's important. Somebody being fat or skinny is not really important on the grand scheme thing. It's just everybody go through phases of fat and skinny.
Well, people go phases through political affiliations. You can't say that they vote for Obama one year and it's like, fuck it, my taxes are not, no, I'm not getting tax returns, so I'm going to switch this way.
I'm not even saying I have a political affiliation. I'm just saying that's like
I'm using your argument. Lovers on here.
That's all I'm saying. Shit.
No. I'm using the point that you're making. You're saying that, that doesn't matter. Or saying like, oh yeah, your weight doesn't matter. It's a physical thing than a mental political affiliation.
No, I just said to me. To me, it don't like. I mean, there are other things that are important. Like, what have you done for your community? Like, what's your goal?
There with girls at home that probably look like the chick they probably. If that's the case, I need to see what the.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I'll send it to you. Because it's like, how can you say, well, guys don't want that? Well, if your girl over there looking like. Who the fuck did it? Like, then I'm like, well, hold on, fam. Well, this is what you married, but you shaming other women, but this is what you got at home. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
All these dudes were successful men that were looking for marriage. They were looking for a relationship.
And why can't they get it? Because even if you got money, I realize niggas can be suckers too with money. Look at Chris Brown was and I don't want to do this to Chris Brown, but Chris Brown is a sucker with money. Like Rob Kardashian's a sucker with money. Like, just because you're a professional doesn't mean that you know how to, I guess, quote unquote, be a ladies' man or get dudes. I'm just saying, because these dudes end up getting played. Look at PJ Walker.
Hey, he got played.
You knew that chick posted a Twitter, and I'm not trying to get off topic. That chick made a Twitter thing, but guess what? You see how fine she was, and you was a sucker and you got lit. I'm just saying.
Hey, y'all, let me say this, because we all family here. Hey, y'all, this was a great conversation tonight. I just want to take about 30 more seconds of you guys' time. And I want you guys to say something to these racist motherfuckers that's in the comments. So we have some people in the comments right now that's saying, who allowed black people? Oh, I can't even get the damn thing to pull up. Who allowed black people to be this dumb? These guys' average IQ is 82. So I'm gonna let each one of you say something to these racist bastards that's in these comments.
I saw one that was like about asylum.
Give me all the energy, nigga.
I'm trying to figure out. The comments right there. I have yet. I just look at the comments.
They still watching. They still watching.
They're still watching.
Like and subscribe. Yep. They still watching. Like and subscribe.
Anyway, guys,
I saw this one comment right here. They're saying like America needs a mental asylum as proven by these 10 people. Like, when you can't even count, there's 9 folks up in here.
That part.
So
I would say that you see how we all just got in disagreed. We all teamed up on your ass, so we still can come together. So I don't get what the fuck you talking about.
Hey, so this
see, now them fat hoes gonna fight for you. Call them fat hoes. Watch them march over there. Like it's an MLK day, motherfucker.
Hey, man, so to end the show, man, I want to thank artist named T for coming on, man. K Soul, man, you my boy, bro. Hey, Jedi Mike, man, thank y'all for coming on, man. I really appreciate y'all from coming in and saying what y'all had to say. Hey, we don't censor nobody over here. You say what you want to say. We're gonna go back and forth. But at the end of the day, ain't nothing but love, man. Nothing but love, bro. So I appreciate Tony for coming in, Lance, Brian, Mother, Sierra in the building. That we do this every Tuesday, and y'all invited to come back any Tuesday at 8:30 you want to, bro, and have this conversation. K Soul, you were the calm in the storm today. Jedi Mike, you were literal. And then Lance was just on his everyday craziness is normal. Brian still fucking.
Y'all was on my craziness. Y'all repeated every goddamn thing I said.
Man, we ain't understand shit you said, man. You was on something.
Brian still talking about Brian still talking about he got 2 bitches. He finna go fuck. It's just ridiculous.
I'm just lying, baby.
Man, I know, man. I know it's all fun, bro. It's all fun. Hey, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. And until next time, bro. Peace, man.
Peace out, man. Much love. Good one, y'all.
Yeah, later. All right.
Guys, this has been Black Men Unfiltered every Tuesday at 8:30. We get it in, whether we disagree or not. We're going to learn from each other regardless. So, guys, peace. I guess peace. Y'all want to stay on? Nah, hell no. I'm finna go to bed. I'm tired. All right, y'all. 30